Welcome back to OtakuDaiKun. Dai here, and I am with Ari-chan.
Yeah!
It is her birthday today. We'll be doing a bit of Higurashi, while my cat is hiding behind the TV ready to sabotage everything already.
And the water sound's making me have to pee already. It's a problem.
I have to pee!
Let me go grab our Neko, because he's rubbing up against the power
Yeah, go get the
cable.
cat, please. I don't want him back there. He knows how to get right under my skin.
He's my good Neko.
Oh, nobody come here.
Yes. What's up? He's a good boy.
He is. He's just bad timing, Kenny.
Bird to me, Kenny.
How are you guys doing? Oh, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Ah! Arigato!
You do not want me to sing. Well, we couldn't hear it even if you did.
Aww. Well, sing in your heart and we'll be able to feel it.
Yeah, she doesn't mind the songs usually. Like, that's what they do in her family.
Yeah.
They're sad. I mean, we do it on mine, but it's like...
And it's
really
always
big.
tone deaf. It's great. It
Mhm.
has to be tone deaf for, you know, just tradition's sake.
Why do I sound like an AI? Domo.
Domo.
Sakuba Sakura, happy birthday, Ari-chan. Thank you.
Arigato! Yeah!
Kenya put... Who's Oh, what about Kenya? Anyway.
Kenya.
We got lions.
Only in Kenya.
That probably ages us severely.
Oh my god. No, it was sad. I was teaching some kids, and I say kids, meaning 18-year-olds at school, and I mentioned Charlie the Unicorn. Most of them were just like, what the fuck is Charlie the Unicorn? And I wanted to cry. Oh my god. We're old.
Tomorrow's your birthday, Ezra.
Hey!
Nice.
Happy
Nice.
birthday,
Happy early
Venus.
birthday.
Woo! It's a good time to be alive.
Alright, let's get started with some Higurashi.
Speaking of being alive,
Well, we'll see how long that lasts. So far, things are very tame and happy and pleasant because we're just getting into the start of it. But we are getting hints that there is, you know, a dam project.
the damn project.
That dam project was in Hinamizawa in the past, and it was going to essentially turn the whole town into a flood region. And they're like, no. And so they fought against that, got the government to back down on it, but presumably there was a bit of violence, and one of the people working on the dam project presumably got dismembered, and they did not find all the parts to him.
He was in chunks.
We are both enjoying the occasion quite well. We've been kind of celebrating left and right because different family has been coming out.
It's my birthday month.
Let's say month. More like a week, but yeah.
Yes. It's been fun. Lots of free food. You have to decide what to do on today because I have... Alright, maybe you should ask for a poll. You gotta do Firehouse subs.
They don't need to...
Chipotle.
That's up to us. No, just do Firehouse. Chipotle doesn't give you, like, a
But they give you
burrito.
chips and guac.
I don't give a shit about chips.
Oh, what a good boy. He's playing
I
with
like
toys.
chips.
I like chips. That's an inside joke. Oh, he's so cute.
I also should have upgraded the audio. So if you notice anything off about the audio, let me know, because I spent like 40 minutes last night tuning it ever so properly, trying to make it sound more like my pre-recorded videos in terms of volume levels and stuff like that.
Well, they said you sounded like an AI or something.
Well, they said I sound like an AI in general.
Oh.
Like, the way I talk as, like, my speaking voice. No, this is supposed to sound like my normal OtakuDaiKun stuff.
It's what you do.
Too much dialogue? Yeah. It's very long. That's how just these visual novels are going. I'm playing Hatsumira on the side. That came out on Steam. You can get the 18+ patch through Frontwing's website. And, I'm loving that one, but it's very long. I played a very long time, and I've only seen one H scene. It's taken a long time, like hours. Hope you didn't miss much. No, we were just starting.
Yeah, yeah.
Unlike my house, the Ryugu residence wasn't newly constructed. It had been renovated from a pre-existing building. Well, the house itself was fine. The problem was the yard. There, it was crammed with rows upon rows of oddities.
What the fuck is an oddity?
Well, this is the stuff, you know, she collects shit. She's a hoarder.
Oh, from the dump.
Yes, she's a dumb hoarder. Which sounds funny. They were all the same as Colonel Randy. Stuff you'd see while walking around in town. The cake shop's mascot, Lil Licky. Uh-oh.
Little Licky.
Total Mon in front of the pharmacy. Sakiba Sakura, here's to another great stream. Thank you so much. These streams are kind of a bit of training for Ari-chan, too. She gets a PNG for now. But once she gets really good with her setup and stuff like that, we'll be doing more dual streams. And well, that'll allow dai-chan to be coming out as well when she's a bit more confident playing herself. She can try to play, you know, me.
I'm like a white shirt trainee at Best Buy.
Maybe.
I get my still PNG until I'm a full-fledged
Why is
streamer.
Ari-chan frozen? I'm doing what some of those other VTubers do, and she's just a PNG today.
I'm just a PNG.
I'm sure you've seen that before.
I'm just a PNG sitting on a, I don't know, I can't think of anything to rhyme with PNG.
Outside your windows? What is it, like a music festival thing, like at a park or whatever? For
Whoa.
Kiss cover music?
Oh boy, that's gonna be loud. That's a kiss.
She had the amazing flying elephant from the top of the department store.
Sure she's just not like stealing stuff
It's
from
like
stores?
Dumby or Dumpus. Dumpus. That's funnier. Emi Ichiru moved to Japan? No, I didn't. She's the one that sings all the really lewd songs, right? I wonder what she's barking at.
Someone at the door, maybe. I don't know. It could just be just somebody walking by. She's a good guard dog. We never have to worry about home intruders.
She does do a great job, and she gets lots of praise, but she still wants to feel more comfortable.
Yeah. If you can believe it, I am much more introverted than he is. I'm trying.
Didus? She's my wife.
Didus. That's your new nickname.
Ha 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 ha!
Didus Andronicus.
で、リカちゃんみたいな可愛い子は地下室にしまうのか。
What?
I mean, I could get it if they were figures, but you don't just find figures hanging around at the dump.
Yeah.
So she takes anything she likes back to her nest. No ill will intended.
I was gonna see what the dog
Yeah, go see what the dog
at.
is freaking barking at.
I'll be there.
We're trying to have a nice, quiet stream, but the pets are like, wahoo! Oh, no, I'm not Didus. I don't know who Emi Chidu is. You flicked too hard? What the hell does that mean?
Are, 可愛いか?
She likes the Statue of Liberty. The US, I don't watch Trash Taste podcasts, so I don't know who that is, I guess. Sorry. The US should probably come up with some countermeasures ASAP. If not, the Statue of Liberty really will take a trip to Hinamizawa in the not-so-distant future. Maybe you get some Ghostbusters goo and you can have it walk there. Rika-chan had returned.
職員室に呼ばれるなんて面白くないよな。なんかやったのか?
She can have birthday attention, but she... She wanted to check. I'm not down. I mean, I'm totally down to handle the pets when the need arises. Like
There we
when,
go.
when the pets were barfing and she didn't want to deal with the smell. So I get stuck with the dirty work.
I'll try to make it up to you, because that was a huge favor.
違うよケイちゃんリカちゃんはお祭りの実行委員さんなの
Ah, yes, for coming up on
祭り
the Matsuri.
学校の文化祭かなんかの
See, Kenshin gets Kenshin attention.
What's the best dream you've ever had? I had a really crazy one this morning, or last night, rather. Shit, what was it? It was like a mix between like a urban fantasy, sci-fi, horror. It was crazy. It had something to do with like trying to rescue, or yeah, there was some delinquent piece of crap from like a really rich, wealthy family who was like abusing and the heavy R word to some chick, and I was like trying to find this guy because he's hard to get to. He's like part of a fancy. It was almost like a Spy X Family kind of thing there.
Oh, cool.
Not with a school or anything, but
That's fun.
then it eventually devolved into like that dude was just the kid of the much larger, more dangerous like father or whatever, and getting to him was like tremendously crazy. And in the end, you found out that they were like these creepy alien things. It was nuts. Rico always reminds me of Renge. I don't know who that from. What?
I feel like I know who that
ケイ
is.
ちゃんケイちゃんこの前言
Oh,
ったじゃん
Uh-huh, thank you. No assassin? What?
村祭りだよ
I mean, there was nobody like Yor, if that's what you're
綿
thinking.
流しのお祭
Oh,
The
yours
Wataganashi.
day. Oh, yes, the festival.
Oh, come to think of it, she did say that there'd be a festival at the shrine during the next break. Was there nothing?
その
She barking at nothing.
綿流し
She was barking
って
at
何なん
nothing.
だ
She's our bear.
Perceived mailman.
灯籠流しみたいなもんか
最後
Nah,
に
she's
川に
good
流
girl.
す
She's
っ
a
て
good
とこだけ
guard
は
daddy.
同じかな傷んで使えなくなったお布団とかとてらとかにねご苦労様って感謝して
You
供養し
pollute,
ながら
basically.
沢に流すお祭りなの
You just pollute the water. I mean, it's all organic materials, nah.
Is it? The people living in Hinamizawa dump their futons and padded cloaks in a stream? Sounds like it'd be a lot of trouble if it backed up the current. See,
Yeah, that would be like beaver.
maybe they should just drop some fish in and have a fish wrangling competition. Skewer them and sprinkle a little salt. Oh man, I could smell it already.
See, he and I think with our
そ
stomachs.
れじゃあサマーキャンプですわケイチさんって意外に想像力貧困でございま
It's
す
better
ね
than any summer camp that I've ever been to. Like, we've never skewered fish.
なんで俺が
like,
くだらん
make
想像した
ourselves.
ことが分かった
Skewering them is not very Western. They want you to get poles.
Pole.
What sort of face could have expressed what I'd imagined just now? Rena demonstrated for me. I see, no argument here.
No.
まあそんなに面白いものじゃないけどさ楽しみにしてりゃいいじゃん
Y'all hear that Mahotsukai no Yoru finally can be imported with English subs in HD on, what was it, December 28th or something? Something like that. It was in December.
Yeah, boy.
A little too far off for me to care about the exact number. But I have it pre-ordered. I go through Play Asia. They're pretty reliable.
当日は迎えに行くからね
Oh my god, a giant mochi would be a great idea.
The only thing that I'm really worried about is streaming embargoes and stuff like that. They didn't want you to stream the regular Tsukihime remake, so I'm gonna have to be very, very careful. What? Are you gonna have the traditional birthday cake? No. Is it possible to move Ari-chan a bit further to the left?
Her tracts of land covered in the dialogue.
Okay, that's funny. Yes, I can move us around a little bit
Oh my god.
because
Yeah, shove me over a little more.
I'm gonna push you so hard.
Push me, cause I am not close to the edge. That's kind of cute. That's kind of like I'm looking up, like
Yeah, but that's we can do that.
But I think I'm covering the first part of the dialogue too.
No, not in this case.
Okay.
Look at the screen, love.
I can see the screen. I can
Okay,
see.
I'm gonna stick Daikun a little over to the right as well.
Oh, there. Sorry, my tracts of land are too big.
Thank you for requesting that, though. I
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
I'm totally willing to do that.
Arigato.
Thanks for hanging out with us on your birthday, Adi-chan. Having you on the channel. Cool.
Oh.
And thank you very much, Caitlin P.
Thank you, guys. Yes, the constructive feedback is always helpful. Yay. Cool. So hopefully that is not obscuring the text anymore. They got puppy licking your feet.
I don't really feel like going to festivals unless someone asks me to. Oh, whoops, I gotta click back on the screen. Hey, Akame890, thank you! I wouldn't get bored if these guys were going.
Yay. I love you, Mion.
Mion's proclamation came as she looked at each member in turn. What was this all about? From the way Mion looked, it was probably...
Ooh.
4-demon firefight.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Did you hear about the Twitch streamer who almost lit her kitchen on fire?
What? No.
Yeah, it was an e-thought, and she was like... cause it a fire, and she took her pan over to the sink, of course.
No. Y'all know never do that with the grease fire, right?
Yep, grease fire, never put in the sink, never give water.
What do you do instead? You do?
You can suffocate it, and you can
Uh-huh.
use baking soda.
Yes, but if the fire is large enough, just throw in the baking soda and try to get it outside the house. But if it's too big, leave it and call the fire department. I swear to God.
But you can also suffocate it with a pot lid or something. If it
Yes,
was
but if
big
it's
enough.
too big, don't burn yourself. Just call the fire department. Just don't even try.
Is the VA of Jason talking? You said he was, right? So yeah, he was.
We don't want anyone to get burned.
I tried to object sharply, but since Rena looked happy about it, I decided it was pointless to fight it.
Oh,
Oni. Rika-chan made a small correction in light of my presence.
yes.
この仰々しいネーミングの部活動とお祭
Oh
り
yeah, fire extinguisher,
どう結び
duh.
つくんだ？
Yeah. If you have one of those nearby, which you should, that is definitely a good way to do it.
日頃部活動で培った実力をご披露するのでございますわ。その通り。日々の厳しい試練を乗り
Yeah,
越え
actually,
た
just in case, when I first made mochi donuts, you know, my first time using really hot oil, and I was like, alright, I gotta get this fire extinguisher out. So, while they were cooking, I had the fire extinguisher, like, cocked in my hand, ready to go.
Oh
Just-
god,
I was
really?
like, please.
I wasn't aware of this.
No. I was just like, please, 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 please don't call the gas. It was fine. I didn't burn the house down, but...
Rika-chan really is the only one who explains things so they make sense. It's as if she's more mature than the other ones. I see. So we'll be exhibiting on those busy festival grounds. Rena was right, of course. That would be a reason for the mayor to get... that would be a reason for the mayor to get angry.
Oh, no.
でも楽しいんだよ。
We like pissing off the mayor. That was the only point I did not doubt. It would be, without question, fun. The day of the festival was drawing near.
じゃ、それはそれとして。
Yes,
Yo,
absolutely.
I didn't
Fire
know that.
extinguishers they're not too expensive. But yes, if you don't have one, yeah. So in order of fire largeness, if it's pretty small, you know, try to snuff it out, you know, with something that can cover it and stop the oxygen. If it's a little bigger, you can use a bunch of baking soda if you got that in the house. If it's not too big and you're able to safely get close to it, just get it outside the house. But obviously if it's really big, fire extinguisher is the best. And then if it's too big, call the fire department and get the fuck out of the house. In that order. Please be safe, everybody.
Yeah, this lady was like, I don't know what to do! Help, help! She was like talking to her stream like they
Oh,
were able to do
Jesus.
something about it.
And the problem is if the comments go too fast, you won't be able to read any of that anyway. Like...
Well, that's true. She wasn't even looking. I think it was just like... I don't know. She deleted the video, but people still clipped it. Anyway, Dai told me past streams he doesn't play TTRPGs, not even the anime Big Eyes Small Mouth. Are you the same? I don't know what you mean by...
Are those like horror RPGs?
No, I tabletop RPGs.
Oh, tabletop.
Right. No, I don't play any of those.
No.
You were doing a little with your workmate.
Yeah, we do a little bit of D&D on the weekends because they live in the UK, so we got to work on their time scale. So it's kind of rare, but yeah, I love my. I have a masochistic paladin who's very similar to Darkness, and then I have a teeny tiny little monk who's based on Emma, and she
From
shoots
Promised
fireballs.
Neverland.
Yes, from Promised Neverland. She can shoot fireballs.
今
It's
日は
awesome.
新品傷はないから本当に条件は互角本当でございましょうねそのカード改めさせてもらいますわ
Well, that was just fair. Just to be safe, everyone check the cards.
I love her little frog face.
これなら大丈夫だよ
I don't know about the Dreamlands, no. No idea what that is. Who's your number one waifu, Gumi? You should know mine by now.
大貧民にしようか
And I made a video on her that will come out, I think, for you guys next month if you're not part of the early access crowd.
And it's only $1, right? To be part of the early access?
No, that's $5.
Oh, that's the 5 tier.
$1 gets you my manga series and the lessons in Magecraft.
Ah! The manga series is hilarious. Oh my god.
Another standard card game. First one to get rid of all their cards wins. The basic rules: play a better card than the one before. I'm gonna kind of speed through this because, my god.
There's gonna be a lot.
You can play straights and pairs. There are various techniques that improve the game, like reversals. But because it's such a well-known game, there are lots of house rules for it as well.
I bet you I
The
can do
name,
fast
for
with you.
example, in my hometown, we called it Millionaire. Do you want to read?
You ready? Alright, let's go to this.
一応
Well, not these ones.
Yeah, I knew.
ジョーカーはオールマイティか3は3枚でも革命可能か
ジョーカーはなし
Yeah.
2が最強革命返しはあり3でも4枚なきゃ革命不可
It's very complicated.
あとねゲーム開始時に貧民がいいカードを上納するってルールがあるでしょあれはなしなの
While I was confirming the familiar rules, Satoko looked over at me cautiously. I probably should have tried to look more like should look like more of an amateur. I was pretty used to this game. It's President. And it's with the new deck.
Okay, Shatner.
Today, I might be able to win. I had the gist of the rules now. But that wasn't everything, was it?
今日の罰ゲームは何でございますの
Yay.
それ
The
なんだけ
loser
どさ
takes it up the butt.
みんなで何枚かメモに書いて歯医者に引かせるってのはどうかな
Oh, wait. Do you want to keep
Oh,
going?
no, you keep going. I just want to give it a shot.
Okay.
but you
Oh,
read
that
faster.
seemed like it could be interesting. I've been doing it for a very long time.
Yes.
ではどぎついのを書いてケイチさんに引かせてやりますわ
Well,
あんまりひどいのを書くと自分で引いた時大変だよ
oh, that would be
負けなきゃ
horrible.
いいってんだろ
わかってるじゃありませんの
Oh god, that laugh. Oh god, it haunts my dreams.
Yeah, it's not like your typical. It's very unique to her.
It's very unique to her, exactly. That voice actress just really just.
じゃあ適当に書いてこのカバンの中に入れて負けた人はこの中に手を突っ込んで1枚引くってことで
Oh my god.
Now then, what would be a good penalty? Worst case scenario, you'd draw what you wrote. Something too intense would be like digging your own grave.
Yikes.
何もなしって書くのは禁じ手にしましょうです
Rika-chan's casual suggestion caused Mion's hand to lurch to a sudden halt.
Oh.
ミオンさん卑怯ですわ何もなしって書いてカードを折ってあるんですの
Okay, it's a Lovecraft thing.
Ah.
I see. Just in case you lost, just grab the note with the folded corner and you'd be safe. That was a good idea. Diabolical as ever, Mion. Rika-chan is quite formidable too, being able to see through that. I couldn't underestimate her even if she doesn't stand out.
みんな あんまり意地悪な罰ゲームはやめようね
Nobody agreed to Rena's proposal. Everyone was ruthless.
大丈夫だよレナ
Well, not as ruthless as ripping out a fingernail.
開けなきゃいいんだから
God. Ugh.
そう
We
だね
haven't quite gotten there yet.
Thanks.
よし頑張って
I imagine it'll be like 70 hours before we're ever close to that. These things are long.
If that.
Rena was quite brutal, even though she usually appeared meek. Better not underestimate her either.
No.
同感ですわ特にレナの罰ゲームってのがとっても気になるでございます
What do you think would be the most humiliating meme dance to have to
誰
do
の
as a
罰ゲ
penalty?
ームでも怖いですわ
God.
I still didn't know what Rika-chan's penalties would look like, or be like. I hate that stupid Fortnite crap.
このゲームには負けられないってわけ
Well, flossing, most people don't know how to do it, so that would be pretty
覚悟はいい
embarrassing.
ね
We all nodded determinedly. Having confirmed that, Mion dealt out the cards. Finally, the battle begins!
Shut.
I had a decent starting hand. Card after card was played in the middle, no needing Mion to tell them. Both Rika and Satoko played their cards without hesitation. Rena and I were the only ones who paused to think. It seemed that Rena genuinely couldn't make up her mind, but I was different. It was like a shark stalking its prey, just waiting for the right time to
あ
strike.
れこれ通るのかよじゃあ3出して上がりだぜ
Ruth's not a name in Japanese. Aha.
Oh, Kenny.
上がりでございます
Come here, my little troublemaker.
What do you think of Clyde Liner? They're very much OP because they're servant class cards. I mean,
そうです
we still haven't seen like a servant fight their class card counterpart,
上がりね
you know? So,
Sorry, I can get the cat again because he's rubbing his footage up the computer again.
the loser of the first round was, of all people, Mion. And now I was certain. Today I could win!
じゃあ
That's
Music's
what
kinda
you
cool.
think.
この中から1枚引いてね
Mion, accepting her defeat, scrounged around inside the bag and pulled out one piece of paper.
誰これ書いたやつ誰
Strip, strip, strip! Mion quivered and shrieked.
This is why I like Neon. I just like the way she says
どうな
stuff.
のどうなの
Oh, they look so distressed.
Rena was also surprised when she peeked at it. Turn on the vibrator to maximum. What kind of terrible thing was written on it? Pet the principal on the head. Oh.
Oh,
ちょっと待て
where is the
これが
principal
どうやばい
anyway?
んだ
圭一さんは気づきませんの校長先生は頭髪が薄いことを恥ずかしがってますよ
Oh, that's evil.
I thought you were going to say something about his penis being the head. Satoko yelled with a serious look on her face. That would have gotten him fired. But she wasn't as loud as Mion's shriek. What could it be?
校長先生は武道の達人なのです若い頃は世界を修行して
He's gonna kick your ass.
武術の奥義を極めきったと豪語してますの戦後の日本の教育の乱れを憂いて教育者に転校し
Sorry,
た
I'm
んだ
just
って
kissing the cat because I want to keep him distracted.
He was inhuman.
You guys
Pat that
don't
guy's
look
head?
部長の私が模範を示さないわけにはいかないね
Ugh. Now he's gonna be like freaked out. She bellowed out a yell as she dashed off down the hallway.
静かにこっそり行って穏便に済ます方が有利じゃないのか
多分無理だよだって気配でアメフラシが探せるって言ってたし
I could do nothing but wait with bated breath. Kerpow! A rumble shook the classroom.
Oh, jeez.
校長先生超奥義発動です
Nanny.
Beating up a student.
Oh my god.
Zashing kaboom!
Jesus.
Such perfect flow in a combo. He's even using followers on the KO'd opponent.
Is the principal a character in Higurashi Daybreak?
What do you mean? I don't get it.
The fighting games?
Higurashi Daybreak is a fighting game?
Yes.
Didn't know that. Nothing I could do except stay calm. I don't even remember what he looks like. I understood why there were no delinquents at this school. What club are they in anyway? What the fuck did they call themselves?
Like the... I don't know, man. It's something very long and elaborate, I feel
After a
like.
moment of silence, Mion slumped back to us. They just play games.
これでいい
Hey, Hachi. Yeah. Mion said before collapsing.
とりあえず生きてますわね。ゲーム続行は可能でございますわ。
鬼
I was amazed the person who made the club activities like these could say that.
Yeah, no
でも
kidding.
でもこれで一番おっかない罰ゲームはなくなったね。
Reina tried to lighten the mood and was only met with Mion's malicious grin.
Oh god.
She was serious now.
もう手加減しないからねあんたたちにも思い知らせてやろうじゃん
The pace of the game became bizarrely quick. I could tell the game had gotten more intense. I mean, she talks like an old man. That's
I
the
know.
whole gimmick.
S345 あっかりこれで僕も上がりますです。
へへ俺も上がらせてもらうぜ。
これで上がりですな。負けちゃったよ。
Oh no.
And the heavens chose to vanquish Reina.
どんな罰ゲームだろう。どんな罰ゲームだろう。
Check out the decal on the chalkboard. What? I don't see a decal. You mean like written in chalk or on the paper? You mean like the circle with an arrow? That's the only symbol I see.
There's a man.
It wasn't exactly hard for her to be worried.
There's a man.
Just thinking of the level of difficulty of Mion's first penalty still made me quiver. And so the penalty she drew with trembling fingers was... The heck was this? Speak like a maid?
Just had Gosujin-sama.
Oh, a coffin on the clipboard thing. Yeah, okay.
ってことはつまりそういう口調で喋れということではございませんの？
Jeet-kun-do? I don't know what JKD... I've never seen it abbreviated. Kyoko Kirigiri and Danganronpa 1. Huh.
ご主人様。
It hit me like a ton of bricks. Why a tonne? I had no idea who wrote that penalty, but she was awesome.
じゃあレナカードを集めてみんなに配ってくれるかな。
ご主人様。
There you go.
There you go. Oh, I could just die right now.
とにかくゲームを続行しよう。
Hey, baby.
なあレナ。
ご主人様。
The eagerness to which I was goading Rena into addressing me as master was downright impressive, if I do say so myself.
もう負けないよあかり
私も絶対負けられないでございますのよ。上がりましたで
We're
す。
playing a game of cards. That's really all that's happened since we
俺
started.
も上がりだ。
Oh.
そんなまたレナの負けでございますか？
Oh no.
Rena again? What kind of penalty would it be this time? I was delighted by the mysterious sense of anticipation. Anticipation? No, this was conviction.
Bruce Lee.
Well, I know what Jeet-kun-do is, I just don't know if people abbreviate it like that.
Ayo.
What? Remove one item. Oh, you're hoping you would say that, right?
それはまずいだろ。
Top and
誰だ
bottom?
こんなの書いたの。
My face reddened in anger. If I didn't yell something out, I wouldn't be able to hide my shaking. Ah, who did write that? God, please give that man a Nobel Prize.
きっとノーベルスケベ賞ですわね。
No, not good. Or sorry, not good, not good. What was I thinking about? What I was thinking about was written on my face. What a weird thing to say.
みーちゃん。
Rena begged Mion with teary eyes, but everyone knew Mion's answer already.
はいはい甘えない甘えない負けたら潔く
You just take off socks and like the little
わかりま
scarf.
したご主人様。
And then she still has to keep talking like a maid. Oh, it's awful. Yeah, man.
Actually, this is Higurashi, It's always had these lighthearted, crazy, slice of lifey kind of moments that then go really dark. It's just that the anime cuts to the chase really fast.
Yeah.
So this is the creepy story. Don't get me wrong. We just haven't gotten to the creepy
there's
stuff.
a lot of dialogue. All right, let's go. Chop chop.
I looked around, thinking someone else would probably stop her. Of course, I wasn't exactly trying to stop her either. Maybe one of these days they can stop playing card games.
Right.
Then I heard the rustling of clothing. The sound of her skirt hitting the ground sent my heart racing. Wait, whoa. You weren't supposed to take off your skirt. I looked away like a gentleman. With these club activities, you need to be ruthless after all. Oh. You completely changed clothes, though.
ケイチさん、何を期待してますの？下に体操服着てなかったらさすがに脱げませんわ。
Oh, she had him underneath.
Yo.
Satoko poked fun at me right now, but I can't hear it.
ケイちゃんもやるね。こっちの方向で攻めてくるとはおじさん予想もつかなかったわ。
違う。これは俺が書いたんじゃない。
ご主人様が書いたんじゃないんですか？
Her squirming around in her PE clothes made it impossible for me to not feel anything.
Uh-oh.
Sproing! Calm
Sproing.
down, Keiichi Maibara! Mion probably wrote that one and planned to go after me as I panicked.
Cage
can't-
Maibara by full name is actually his penis.
Clear your head. Calm down and ass-ass the situation.
Ass.
I was determined to think my way out of this, and the answer was quite simple. I win! I then became a god! I, who had already entered the domain of godhood, what would dare stand in my way? It was like they pulled to me magnetically. I was picking up aces and twos like nobody's business.
なんでこんなにカード運が悪いんでございますの？
サトコの負けだな。引くぞ。妹口調で喋る。
Oh.
はい、お兄ちゃん。
Yes! The pleasure of making this brat disgrace herself.
Jesus.
またおじさんの負けじゃん。
ミオンの負けだな。引くぞ。女子スクール水着に着替える。
Oh, what was that?
Yes! Mion's despair was like sweet honey.
ご主人様、また負けちゃいました。
レナの負けだな。引くぞ。
What is he gonna do now?
I think he's just drawing it at random. I don't know.
1位に膝枕。
They're supposed to pull it out themselves, so I don't know why he's doing that.
この格好でですか、ご主人様。
She sounds
Yeah!
gross.
She's not wearing a skirt, so it's her bare legs.
Whoa.
お兄ちゃん、強すぎですの。
サトコの負けだな。引くぞ。1位にご奉仕。
Oh
肩
god.
でも揉んでもらおっかな。
Now he's just
お
like,
兄ちゃん。
ほら、もっと奥まで。爪立てんじゃねえぞ。
Jesus Christ, Keiji.
I had transformed into an evil dictator and couldn't be doing any better. It felt like I could control how the cards played out with my mind, and even decide what suits would appear just by willing it. By the time I realized it, I had already assembled a harem. I was laughing haughtily as I rested my head on Reina, who was now a bloomer-clad maid. Satoko was wearing a collar and had taken on little sister properties. Mion was fanning me while wearing a school swimsuit. We never got to see that.
Looks like teacher walks in on this.
今日はご主人様は圧勝でございますね。あんまり頭をゴロゴロしないでくださいまし。
I began to think, why does man have no end to his desires? How could I wish for more than this palace of dreams?
どうしましたですか、ケイチ。
どうして人の欲望には限りがないのか。
It's so
憂い
deep.
ていたのさ。
That was it. Rika-chan hadn't been in first, but she continued to escape being in last.
圭一は欲張りさんですよ。春を知るとも言います
He
で
let the
す。
power get to his head.
十分理解してるよ。なんて言うのかな。もう死んでもいいって感じ？
You say that.
ご主人様、
Yeah,
し
I'll bet.
ないで。死んでもいいですね。叶えて差し上げますですよ。
Rika-chan said it in her usual calm manner with a cheery tone. This was undoubtedly a declaration of war.
いいぞリカちゃん。やっちゃ
Well, they do have the CG.
Yacha!
I mean, it's just a school swimsuit.
このドスケベダイバー
Oh, she just has a collar
やっ
on.
つけてござい
Oh my
ま
god.
す。僕では勝てないかもしれませんですが、やっつけますですよ。
Somebody gonna get stabbed.
Such
Yes.
stoicism from this little girl who's always hidden away in Satoko's shadow. It would probably be rude not to meet her head on. I shall face you myself, little one. I saw Mion swap a few cards with Rika-chan in the middle of the game, but I pretended not to see it. Do you believe you can defeat Keiichi-sama with just that?
2です。エースエースエースです。
Oh shit.
8888革命しますです。
Everyone looked over at me. I was still brimming with confidence. Mwahaha! The four of them have allied against me. That's it? You're making me laugh.
Oh, they're kind of playing like Uno. I think. Like they're trying to get rid of all their
そ
cards.
んなバカなことがあるわけ。
Yeah.
Now I understand.
Satoko let out a shriek. Mwahaha! You simpletons! Using up all of her cards before calling the reversal left Rika-chan with no good cards. She was defeated soon after.
僕の負けです。
ついに我が軍門に下ったり。
Sounds like
さあ
a demon.
一枚引くぞ。おお。
Wear cat ears, a bell collar, and a tail.
Do you have those things at school?
Your school's cool. Even the penalties were as I wished.
It's like the teachers just don't give a shit. Like,
There's only like one teacher.
I know.
Rika-chan hung her head and equipped the 3 holy artifacts. It's questionable as to why these things were in Mion's locker,
Yes.
but since I had no objections, I didn't ask.
that's what I was wondering. Oh, she's so cute.
Whoa,
So cute.
this was so... It felt like I had become Rena. This was definitely...
かわいい。かわいいよね。
Yeah, she just says...
お持ち帰り。
Oh, it's a kitty in a box.
This wasn't me talking, that was the actual Rena.
み
As Rika-chan mimicked a cat, teary-eyed rings of smoke escaped from Rena's ears with an audible poof.
リカちゃん、お持ち帰り、お持ち帰り。ちょっとだけだよ。変なことはしないんだよ。しないんだよ。
Why do I not believe you?
そうか。その手が残ってたか。
Mion gasped and dropped her fist into her open palm.
レナがどうしてもって言うなら、僕はお持ち帰りされちゃうです。
Ultimate submission.
レナさん、ケイチさんが倒せたらですわ。
They thought that Rena in cute mode would be able to defeat me. Would it be that easy? Opposing me was the same as opposing God. I'd teach them their place.
証拠材だ。
Cage is good at God complex.
For a moment, I didn't know what was going on. The 52 cards danced and flowed freely between Rena's hands, like the machinations of a master magician. In the middle of those flowing cards was Rena's ecstatic expression, her head bobbing around.
やろ、ケイチ君。早く早く。
Oh my god.
My whole body knew it already. I was going to lose.
Oh boy. It's only fair.
Oh, you were watching a video for Ark's gaming of
Didn't I?
Zenless Zone Zero. And if you want, you can register for the closed beta. I did register for the closed beta test. I wonder if I'll actually get my wish. because that game looks smackshare.
出ないのケイちゃんならこれで
The only problem with doing a beta test is, for one, can I stream it? And two, I'll probably have to like restart when the official version comes out. Everyone cheered. I was spent.
悔いはないさ神様短い夢をサンキューな
It's not like it was hurting
で
anybody.
ございますよ。ケイさんの罰ゲームこれですわ。
Everybody peeked at it in unison, gazes flicking between the text and my face.
今日一日はしゃがせてもらったからな何でもやるぜ内容はなんだ
Put your balls in a vice.
That's a balls in a vice face.
Huh?
Oh,
Every penalty up until now.
see, there we go. That's the secure punishment.
Oof. Hey, you had your fun.
Yerp.
It's only fair.
ケイさん、言葉遣いが弟属性になっていませんでしたよ。
A mess. A maid older brother.
お姉ちゃん
Oh god.
うわこれはやみつきになるでございますわ。
And there was much rejoicing. Yay!
Zenless Zone Zero is the newest game from the dudes making Genshin. But it's like closer to their aesthetic, I guess, for Honkai, but even sexier. Dude, there's a chance Xenogears might be revived. Where do you get that idea? Yeah.
I would love that.
I don't believe in that rumor at all. And I'm afraid if they did, it would be like what Square Enix is doing to, like, what, with Chrono Cross, which was like a half-assed remaster that censored shit. It's like, come on, I don't want to see that.
Oh.
That said, if it weren't too bad, I would still play it. Just Zeno is something special to me.
Because it was so creepy the way the way that they did it in the past, like an eerie, kind of mystical, you know, just all the emptiness. And
Well,
I
that's
feel
not
like
something I
that
think they would change.
Well, I hope not, but I feel like that might be.
Well, if they're doing it like Chrono Cross, it's mostly just a slightly remastered version of the PS1 game. So
okay.
it wouldn't change that much.
I know, it would be nice to see this entire play out. Because they don't do that in the anime, do they? This game
This
is not.
particular-
This Batsu game is not in there.
This Batsu game is not, that I'm aware of.
はいご主人様
God.
ケイチくん、それすごくかわいい。もっと言って、もっと言って。
See, I most identify with Rena, but I like Mion the best.
Yes, I've had Pocky. Of course I've had Pocky. Pocky is very good.
So many Pocky. All the Pocky.
What's my favorite character in Danganronpa 1? I feel like I was asked this. She's like the chick who's friends with the big buff chick. I'm sure you'll know who I'm talking about. I don't know her name. Unless you say it, and then I'll be like, ah, yeah, that's the one. Rena passed out with a squeal, blood spewing from her nose like a fountain.
Oh god.
My dignity was being trampled more than a communal doormat.
Ouch.
She's having fun.
次はおじさんだねまずはのんびりとうちわで仰いでもらおうかな
That's pretty appropriate.
Foosh, foosh.
そうかこれも着ないとダメだよね
Oh.
クール水着
Don't you have your...
女子用だろ
Yeah.
俺は男子用でいいんじゃないのか
Oh boy, he's gonna be packing.
ここにちゃんと女子スクー
Ah,
ル水着の
it does say
デ
that.
ザインと明記してございますわ。
Yeah, the voice acting in this is, it's I've very much heard it's gotten a lot of praise.
Yes.
Satoko is like a loan shark. Actually, me trying to escape reality as fast as humanly possible is pretty adorable if I did say so myself.
だって誰のスクール水着を着るんだよ嫌だろ俺なんかに着られたら
Trying to get out of that.
おじさんそういうのは全然気にしないからいいじゃん役得でさ
they won't launch it in China or heavily censor it in China. I mean, as long as we get it, I guess, like, fuck China in that regard. Like, they're bad, man. They're really bad these days.
It's like, fuck the Chinese government. Like, I feel bad for the people.
Well, yeah, the people,
But
maybe.
yeah.
ケイちゃんでも着れないことないと思うよ。
No, Zeno is a total Zeno game. I mean, that should go without saying, but no. Just because it started out as Final Fantasy, that was just the birth of Zeno. So you could argue all the Zeno stuff was a birth from Final Fantasy. The executioners surrounded me, wagging their fingers. My first thought, it's tight around the waist. Second thought, the chest area was pretty loose. Don't make me elaborate anymore.
We know. We know.
ケイチくんかいかい。あとこれに猫耳と首輪と尻尾をつけて完成しますです。
ケイちゃん、
Yeah, any of those governments that are heavily regulating people's lives, like, that's the problem. And unfortunately, ours isn't, well, in America, it ain't getting any better.
Nope.
The slippery slope of getting rid of abortion is going to lead to getting rid of things like birth control, because once you start deciding, oh, well, they'll just be like, don't have, premarital sex, don't have sex unless you're planning to have kids. I'm like, you know nobody does that, right?
Yeah.
Like, nobody, especially not you, you're full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I told Daikun that if they outlaw birth control, we're moving to Japan.
I don't wanna.
I know, but much of a choice.
The stern scientific calculating nature mixed in with her fascination made Mion very scary.
遠慮しますご主人様。
これで出来上がりですわね。
Yeah, how does that tail work?
このままの格好で下校するってのもあればよかったですのに。
It's not one of those
Just
butt
parade
plug
him through the
ones.
street. Oh God,
じゃあ
that would be
も
inappropriate.
ういいかい着替えてさ。
Aoi Asahina, yeah, she's the one I like. While I was saying that, Mion placed her hands on my shoulder and Rika-chan slipped up behind me without a sound.
まだです、ケイチ。一番最初にやった罰ゲームが残ってますです。
この格好でか。
Rika-chan patted my head without saying a word.
うっす失礼します。
Oh god.
Oh, that's right.
入りたまえ
Oh, he has to pet his head.
I stepped forward into the principal's office. My bell collar jingled adorably. The principal froze solid with a smile on his face as he saw me. I couldn't blame him. In this sacred place of study, specifically in his office. Though I said excuse me as I entered, the sight of a person entering with a school swimsuit, cat ears, a collar, and a tail, and for it to be a young male student, without a doubt, any normal person's psyche would have stopped cold.
Oh God.
But this could be explained. We'll call it uncanny valley camouflage, if you will. When humans see others, they can only begin to act confirming this is human. Meaning that if he could not comprehend what was in front of him, then in those moments before he could begin to fully process the situation,
What
his
is
mind was completely blank.
What isn't that bowl of curry on the table?
That was my one and only chance for victory. I see a spoon.
Oh, it's a spoon. That's a big spoon.
On the right, it's a spoon.
Yeah.
I don't know what those little lines are supposed to be. It almost looks like stitching between the curry and the rice.
Yeah, or like a.
And I don't know what the flag says in it.
And that says shiawase, or like happiness.
Oh.
But I don't know why.
And it looks like almost like seashells on top.
Yeah, or like garlic bulbs or something.
They might be
It's
garlic.
So confusing.
That's a lot of garlic.
It's a fuck ton of garlic.
Then again, he has like jars full of things right above
yeah,
it.
he does.
So could be fresher. That was my one and only chance for victory. My penalty, rubbing the principal's head.
こっちゃー勝負
He's so lucky he's not been expelled.
A sashing sound echoed loudly. He went straight for the special move. Get the fuck away. The principal said one thing to me,
男とは何ぞや
and in a heartbeat, boof.
Oof.
Boof.
Oh god.
The tremor resounded through the Hinamizawa twilight. Game over.
Game over. I love that. Just he's dead. That's it. That's the end of Keiichi's arc. He's gone.
Why would he have a jar full of that? Have you tried omurice in Japan? Of course I have.
I wonder if they turn this into a doujinshi at some point. There's got to be some. It's what is it? Rule 34, whatever, right? Like, yeah. I'm sure there's some art out there.
Rena was given permission to caress Rika-chan's head as much as she wanted, so they headed home together, very pleased. Once again today, it was just Mion and I going home.
いやー、白熱したね。ケイちゃんがあんなに大貧民が強いとは思わなかった
I love how they just call it president. It's like the game that they all challenge the president to.
If I was playing with guys, I wouldn't have been that strong.
しかしひってえ目にあった。あんな姿で担架で運ばれた日にゃ松代までの恥だ。
At least nobody knows, because there's hardly any students.
True.
でもいいじゃ
And they'll know him anyway.
ん。
So it
7台
doesn't
は自
matter.
慢できるくらいいい目を見たんだし。
Oh, well, when she says it like that, we both smile at each other.
おや
Tomitake!
また会ったね、ケイチ君。
Oh, you're still alive, huh? It was Tomitake-san.
Man, he's still
It
alive.
felt like, damn it, he's still alive. It felt like I'd been running into him quite often. If you know that reference, let me know.
どうも。
Damn it, he's still
写
alive.
真は撮れてますか
So classic.
It's from a dub, I'll say that.
Yes.
で、
Tomitake-san suddenly leaned over and whispered into my ear.
しかし、ケイチ君も隅に置けないな。今日はこの間とは違う彼女かい？
そういうんじゃないですよ。
とぼけないとぼけない。
Oh, there is
若い
doujinshi.
うちは
Oh,
経
excuse me
験
for a
が大
moment.
事なんだからな。
Because Tomitake-san let out such a crude laugh, Mion knew what we were talking about without even hearing his whispering. Well, you're telling me there's a doujinshi with him and the principal?
There's gotta be.
That's...
富武の
I mean, I've seen weirder, but
なかなか隅に置けないって噂ですけど。
I just don't get the appeal.
いや、
You
僕は
would.
そんなつもりで。
Of the principal?
Is it? It's what is that? What is that tag? It's like creepy old guy or
No,
something.
ugly bastard.
Ugly bastard. Thank you. There you go. That's why.
Mion seemed to really want to get rid of this lout quickly. From the way she spoke, it seemed as if Mion knew Tomitake-san quite well.
おじさまは今年は渡長島で滞在ですかな。
うん、
I
その
mean,
つもりだよ。
Tomitake is looking
お
pretty
祭りを
good
一
too.
通り撮影したら、また東京に帰るよ。
He's not your casual dude.
本
No,
当に
he's
気楽な
not.
商売ですこと。
He's got dog
早く
tags,
でっかい
like
賞
he's
を取
seen
って
some shit.
有名になってくださいよね。
Good point. The dog tags are actually
本
important.
気伸ばしてまで写真撮影に熱中してるんだから。
そんなことはないと思うな。
You
男
at
は
least knew about
味噌汁から
Higurashi
味が
from
出る
when
ん
we
だよ。
first met because you played the song from the opening for me.
I liked the song. I didn't see much of the show. We saw the first episode in our anime club.
Really?
Yeah,
Shit, that was wow.
at college.
Damn. Yeah, we only went like 3 times to that.
Because then we realized we could just go home and like watch anime together.
おっと、そろそろ宿に戻らないと暗
And
く
it
なっ
was
ち
a
ゃう
pain in
な。
the ass to walk all the way across campus for that, like at night.
Meh.
Like,
Tomitake-san began to take his leave with a dry laugh. It did look like he was outmatched by Mion.
じゃあお二人ともお祭りでまた会おうね。
After waving a hand cheerfully, Tomitake-san disappeared amidst the cries of the Higurashi.
あんな調子で本当に有名になれんのかね。個展開いたら
yeah,
私の写
Tomitake's
真
got
展
good
示してもらう
arms
約束
and
になってんだけ
pecs.
ど
I'm very impressed with his
当分
pecs.
実現しそうにないか
Just a
ね。
good top half.
ミオンは富武さんの
In
こ
general.
と知ってるんだ。
うん、知り合いっていうかほら、ここじゃよそ者はすぐ分かっちゃうからね。
昨日今日会ったばかりという感
Oh,
じじゃ
and
なかったな。
arigato, Sarah.
富武さんね、
This is a good
結構
day.
ちょくちょ
This
く
is a good way to spend the
南沢に来るんだよ。
birthday.
年に2、3回くらいかな。季節の風景や野
I
鳥を
got
撮
my
影してるんだけど
bottle
さ
of。ginger beer. So I might burp.
大した写真じゃないんだろうけどね。
The image Mion painted of Tomitake-san was fairly unique. The Tomitake-san I knew was more mysterious. The words flowed naturally from my mouth.
富武さんって本当に野鳥撮影で来てるのかな。
That's a great question, isn't it?
Mion stared blankly at me as if to ask, why do you say that?
なんかこう
撮影以外の目的で来てるようなさ。
He's got an intuition about it.
そんな気がしないか？
I tried to start an anime club. Well, we did start an anime club in my high school, but it didn't last very long. There weren't enough people in the crummy little mountain town I lived in to...
It's pretty much like South Park.
It felt like it, yeah. And it just wasn't enough people.
No.
And we did it through the art club, which made sense, or the art class. The art teacher was the supervisor, but they, God, they were like snowflakes. I don't know, they got pissed off over, they were very emotionally involved teachers, and I think it was very unprofessional of them.
That sucks. It's weird because I think your town was smaller than mine, but you had a larger school.
We did because it combined 3 different districts. She agreed with what I thought, but was quite chipper in how she said it.
知ってるのか、ミオン？
もうね。他のみんなはひょっとすると気づいてないかもしれないけど、このおじさんの目はごまかせないしね。
Mion was posturing pretentiously, but I had easily come to a very different conclusion from what she was imagining. It felt like all apprehensions I had about Tomitake-san disappeared, lifting a burden off my shoulders. I was finally able to appreciate how clear the evening sky over Hinamizawa was.
Oh, thank you, cool Kirby.
Cool Kirby.
I exhaled everything in my lungs and inhaled just as much. It smelled like dust.
Dusk.
どうしたの？
Oh.
日暮らし
I don't know what dusk smells like. I know what dust smells like.
こ
Like,
んなにも気持ち
I
いい
think
もの
there's
だったん
actually
だなっ
there's
て。
like a specific Japanese phrase for that too. It's like the smell when it gets kind of cool in the air and the leaves are kind of rustling and it's not really that like, I don't know. It's a very distinctive smell.
Well, it'd be the Japanese self-defense forces.
What?
Huh?
Oh, I thought you said...
Tomitake, man.
Oh, Tomitake. Yes, yes. I thought you were talking about dusk being like this, like the.
No, I don't know what you're... No.
What?
We both continued to giggle, not knowing why.
レナは今頃どうしてるかな？リカちゃんを思う存分可愛がれたのかな？
今頃は夕食を振る舞うから遊びにおいでって誘ってる真っ最中だよ。
うまく持ち帰れるといいな。
Mochikairi. Oh my god, yes.
Will I stream Xenoblade 3? Yes.
Well, we gotta wait for the stupid special edition because they're
Well,
being
that's
bags.
that has nothing to do with playing the game.
No, but...
They're experiencing delays on the manufacturing side of things, probably because they pushed up the release date of the game itself. I'm not sure why they did that if everything wasn't ready. So what they're doing, at least for the European branch, and they haven't said jack shit in America, but probably going to be the same thing, is they'll ship out the game first to everybody, and then the special edition contents at a later date.
That makes sense.
リカちゃんってあれでなかなかうまい
As
から。
long as I get my game.
ああ、
Yeah, get the
それは
game.
同感。頭を撫でる罰ゲーム。あれ、きっとリカちゃんだぜ。
So the digital version isn't out
私
right
も
now,
同感。
or is it? Or is
No,
it
of
pre-order?
course not.
先生の頭を
Okay, so you
撫でられるの
pre-order
はリカちゃんだけだし。
But you can't like.
Well, you can pre-order the digital, yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know why you'd want to do that.
No, that'd be
Well, unless they
Well-
offer a perk.
true.
That's the only reason. The hot day felt like it was being cooled down by the cries of the Higurashi. Come on now. Just get to some killing.
Kill. Gotta get down
Knowing
to
you two
business.
visited Japan, do you both actually speak Japanese? Me, not a lot. Her, not too bad. She can communicate. You've wanted to learn, speak, read, write Japanese for a while? Yeah. If you want to, it takes dedication, but you can totally do it.
The most expensive but best way is to literally go there. But the easier way is to just find a pen pal. Just find somebody who speaks Japanese natively and then just, practice talking. Especially because a lot of Japanese folks really want to practice their English with you too. So it can be kind of a mutual opportunity. But yeah, it's just you will want to study the hiragana and katakana. That's really the big stuff that you're gonna want to just jam into your brain. It's just straight up study. And then kanji practice. The first, I know it sounds daunting, but the first 1,000 kanji will be very important to know. So that's the memorization side. But then, yeah, just find a Japanese pen pal and send emails. You can do like a Zoom call with them. But that's going to be the best way to learn because you start getting the Japanese that you're going to be using in your daily life. And that's how you'll
この
remember
浴
it the
衣
best.
まだ着れるかしら。
Yeah.
Dude, that new Vandom guy looks really dumb in my opinion.
ちょっと袖を通してみてくれる？
Mom pulled out an old dusty yukata.
いい
How
よ浴衣なんて
Clean the
恥ずか
yukata,
しいか
man.
ら普段着で行くよ
でもお祭りなんだから。
You look so
で
cute,
行きなさい
Keiichi.
な
Just do it.
レ
Do
ナと
it.
かは
Do
普段着
it.
でいいって言ってたぜ浴衣なんか着てったら帰って恥さらし
No,
たよ
Just do
you'll
it.
be like the talk of the town. I'll be so impressed.
Put on the same old vest as
祭
usual.
りにはレナたちと行く
I
か
know
らさ
exactly what vest that is too. Excuse me, that like brown one from the show.
そう？
Yep, practice
じゃあ
makes perfect.
母さんお父さんが起きた
Yeah.
ら二人で行く
I'll
わね。
practice. Because if I don't talk with my Japanese coworkers for like a week, I start sounding like an absolute idiot when I'm trying to talk to them. So it
急
just
ぎの原稿を
it
よ
takes
う
time
やく発
and
送したとこ
repetition
なの。
for sure.
ひょっとすると起きたかもね。
Seems my dad writes for art magazines sometimes too. I've never read it though. I wonder if my dad is a really famous artist. As his son, it's a bit strange for me to say, but I can't imagine he's selling all that well. But he's able to feed a family of 3, and my life isn't exactly full of hardships.
Oh, another one really quick. Finding Japanese manga to read that you know already. Like, if you've read a manga, like, for instance, of Higurashi, if you know the story pretty well, you know, read it in Japanese because then you'll know the context, so you'll have some kind of idea going in, and then you can kind of be like, oh, I don't know that word, what the heck is that? And then you just kind of start learning, you know, as the relevance comes along. So that's another really good thing to do too.
いつもうちの圭一がお世話になってまし
But
た。
I would not recommend practicing Japanese by watching anime because it's not the way people speak Japanese, like, in normal everyday language. Like, oh, this is funny. Okay, so my previous boss, she was native Japanese and we spoke Japanese a lot. And she overheard me. I'm pretty sure I said something different, but we were walking through the door and she was just like, oh, thank you. And I said, Yumiko-san no omae no kage de. And if you know what omae no kage de means, it's kind of like thanks to you, but like a yeah, buddy, you know, oh man, you were awesome. Like, it's like super buddy. Like, you don't say that to a boss. And she doesn't mention that to me for a while. And then a couple years later, she goes like, oh, so Ariel, you remember when you said like, omae no kage de? I thought that was hilarious. You know, I was like, oh god, it's so embarrassing. Ah! So, but omae no kage de is something that a lot of anime people say, and I'm pretty sure it just slipped out. So, that's just an example of why anime is not the best way to learn Japanese, but sure is a good way to practice your learning comprehension, so to say. But don't base it on anime.
Maybe if you watch like Office anime all the time or something, as opposed to shonen.
So, like what's that called? That
Wotakoi.
Wotakoi, yeah, like watch Wotakoi. You can watch like there's like a bunch of other ones. What's the other one with the coder?
Coder?
Dragon Maid. Sometimes Dragon Maid has those
Alright.
things in the office. Like, those are really good scenarios, like between coworkers and things. Those are good. But yeah, like, shonen is not a good way to learn Japanese. Just don't do it. Yeah.
It's kind of like Mion here. If you learned things the way Mion said it, it would be very weird if you were a girl, because
She's talking like
she's
an old man.
Yeah, it's specifically little conjugations and mannerisms of an old guy.
Exactly. It's like a cute little girl going like, back in my day, I used to travel back and forth. Good G Willikers. Like, it's like that kind of thing, you know. It
God,
sounds
but no,
bizarre.
never localize it like that.
No,
though.
no.
Fuck no.
No.
But anyway, it was way more lively at the Furude Shrine than the last time I came, far exceeding my expectations. Throngs of people were crammed between rows of market stalls lined with colorful paper lanterns. Despite that, it was actually quite enjoyable.
すげえ人だなひなみ沢ってこんなに人がいたんだ
Yeah, don't learn Japanese from, like, Ryuko.
No. God, no.
It'd be funny as hell, but...
Yes, especially Kansai Ben, especially because that was the dialect that I had to learn when I was in Japan because I was studying, I was living in Shigaken, which is just like right in the boonies of, you know, kind of like the country. You know, you'll have a lot of people when they do dub localizations, they'll sound like they're, you know, from the South, the American South when they're from Kansai. because that's
お
kind of
祭り
like
の賑
the
やかさは
equivalent
やっぱり
of
子
what they
供
kind
の
of think
賑
of
や
it
かさだ
as.
からね
And yeah, Kansai band's really hard to understand. Even though they're saying normal words, it doesn't sound like Japanese. It sounds just like what's it? Like what the.
あらレナこの間はお惣菜をありがとうね
Kant,
うちの子も美味しいって喜んでたわ
Kanto Ben is good. You know, just good old Tokyo, you know,
気
standard
に入ってもらえて
dialect.
嬉しい
If you
和
can.
正くんにもよろしくお伝えくださいね
Oh god.
You can get a version of this game on Steam. What I'm playing is the 07, what is it, like the 07th, I think is what they called it, the mod, which adds in elements from the various releases of the game so that you get kind of the best of both or all worlds. There's certain sections they cut out for the console releases, but those console releases are the ones that added voice acting, so it gives you the best of both. Now, to be fair, you can learn Japanese from anime. There's
Yep.
so many little expressions and things that, you know, they're weirder words that you... It's kind of funny. Like, I know a lot of vocabulary in Japanese that Ari-chan doesn't.
Yes.
Because she learned it proper by the books, like through a class, and I've just picked up random things I've heard in anime, so I'm like...
Exactly. Yes.
It's like, you don't know what Tasogare means? It's
Yeah.
Twilight,
It's
duh!
like-
It's like they're more, like, anime-esque words, more poetic or things, as opposed to, you know, where is the bank? You know, that kind of shit.
Now to be fair, my first introduction to the Japanese language was trying to translate the opening and ending credit songs. And that's how I fell in love with the language. So, you can't fully discredit anime as a learning source. You absolutely should not. But, it's not all you should... it's good to get an eclectic exposure. But, yeah, translating songs is a great way to learn vocabulary. Because although the grammatical sense is not perfect, again, it's great to learn words like Tasogare no umi, you know? That stuff comes up a lot. You know, yoake comes up a lot. You know, there's all kinds of these beautiful poetic words that don't really come up in daily conversations, that only appear in anime or in songs. So definitely feel free to go nuts with that. And it's good to have a variety of experiences, not exclusively from one source or the other. Yay. Thank you, Daikun. That was a very, very good point.
誰に人気あるのかなあるのかな
You're popular with us, Reina.
だよ
We love you.
露天商は町からわざわざ来てくれるんだよ
Does One Piece look ugly? Yes, I do think so. Sorry I wasn't able to answer that before. Also, you asked about Bleach. Bleach isn't ugly per se, but I think a lot of the combat areas look drab and samey, kind of like how Dragon Ball, like everyone just seems like they're fighting in the exact same like desert plains or whatever the hell, with plateaus and shit in the distance. It like always looks the same.
Oh, and if you go to Japan, if you look on the right hand side, you'll see that symbol with like the waves and like the red symbol right there. If you find that, that means you can find kakigori. So when you go to Japan, if you see that symbol,
Kakigori is shaved ice.
Shaved ice. It's super yummy, and it's better in Japan because it doesn't give you brain freeze, because they do something special to the ice where it's not as cold when they grind it up. So, yeah. Super good. And a choco banana. See the choco banana?
Yeah.
Yeah. Choco banana.
レディを任せるとはケイチさんもなってないでございますわ
おおそりゃすまんなでそのまた
Oh yeah, speaking of which, Japan is like officially opening up again, so woohoo! So it's only for like package tours though, so my company is like really happy because we can actually start sending people to Japan again, and it's like perfect time of year. So if anyone's interested, Inside Japan tours. I don't do the trips myself because I do the IT side, but like my coworkers are awesome and they know their stuff. And we actually have two of my coworkers are doing like a familiarization trip in South Korea right now, and they're having so much fun. I'm very jealous. It's not fair.
今年も決まってるじゃん
Nika-chan was wearing a Shrine Maiden outfit. Yep.
So again, that's a really great way to learn Japanese. So mochikaeri is, you know, to take home, but it's also like takeout. So if you're like you know, at a restaurant and you want to take your food to go, that's
リカちゃんの
almost
服装は
shiny.
本格派だな
That's funny.
Yeah. Which is why it's extra
本物の巫女
hilarious.
さんの服か
うちのバッチャのお手製結構本格派でしょ。
リカちゃんはお祭りの最後に大切なお仕事があるからその衣装なの。
I see. Rika-chan was on the executive committee because she performed all the Shrine Maiden rituals for the festival.
お仕事はお祭りの最後のところだけなのです。まだまだ
You do the dance that
ゆっ
we've
くり遊
seen
べます
like
ですよ。
a bazillion times.
Oh my god. At least they got a good, you know,
ってこと
amount
は
of
ここで時間を無
use
駄に
out
で
of
き
that
ないというこ
animation
とです
because
わ
I'm sure it took them a long time to make.
Yeah, the newer seasons of Higurashi really polished the animation, knowing they would show it to us like every single time we had to go through. Yeah, it was crazy. It felt good to wander around the festival with just the 5 of us. Mion called everyone over to a stand that caught her attention and proposed a rather odd competition. Oh god, here we go again.
たこ焼き早食い勝負各自購入の上
Takoyaki! I feel bad for the poor octopus because they're actually like pretty intelligent, but they're so tasty.
A standard in vendor stalls, the takoyaki stand. You know, I'm more of a yakisoba.
Well, yeah, that's
That
a
was
good
especially standard for these kinds of events, was the way that they were simply balls of dough. Takoyaki in name only.
Pretty
Oh.
much. There's like a teeny tiny like sliver of octopus in there because it's
大
expensive.
丈夫？お水お水。
And they use the same sauce they use for okonomiyaki. It's that yummy kind of like the best description of okonomiyaki sauce is like Worcestershire sauce. It's like rich and deep and creamy and like tomato-y, but it's like A1 steak sauce. But
Wait.
better.
So lychee to you tastes like soap made by Willy Wonka's factory. What does that mean? Is that supposed to be sweet soap?
Wait, what is it?
ああ。
Talk about
Oh,
Japanese
yeah.
sodas.
たこ焼き丸飲み
You said you liked them because they're not as sweet. You know, the Japanese don't like overly sweet things
Oh,
like
yeah.
we do.
Yeah, we tend to oversweet things. Like they don't have high fructose corn syrup for the most part. Like if you go to a Japanese bakery, like they have a lot of them actually in the US right now. You'll see a lot of the cakes, they don't use like buttercream. It's always like whipped cream to some degree with a little bit of sugar. And it's, yeah, I remember we had our friends over and I think, what did they eat that was so sweet that they couldn't handle? Do you remember?
Say what?
What were they eating that was so sweet that they couldn't, you know, finish it or something? I can't remember. When they came to visit.
Various
It was
things.
like a drink or like chocolate, like anything that we have. Like they were just going like, They're just like, it's too sweet.
Yeah, our Japanese friends just couldn't handle our level of sweets.
Yep.
冷たいですの。
It's crazy because, you know, your taste buds do adapt. So if you're used to a certain food for a long amount of time, then, you know, that's how you will just kind of perceive the
焦れば
world.
すぐに溶ける
And even syrup there, it's not going to be that sweet, you know.
完食だ
ケイちゃんが
It's a nicer way to enjoy food, I think, sometimes. You know, just the sweetness sometimes is so
まさか
overwhelming
ケイチ君
with how we make things here. It's like you can't really enjoy it because you're just like,
水を入れたんだ。
but yeah.
実に美味しくないですよ。
I miss Japanese sweets. Now, on the other hand, there are some really sweet things. There's
次はこちらにしませんこと。
it's literally a block of brown sugar.
もちろん早食いですわ。
You just like eat straight up. I can't remember what it's called.
ねえね
But
え、
it's
綿
good,
飴
but
の
very
早食い
sweet.
なんてどうやるんだろう。
What is my favorite ice cream? Ooh, that's a good question. I've got a couple. I love sweet cream. That's one that you can't really go wrong with. Things that are like Oreo cream flavored. I like marshmallow
the flavor,
ice
not
cream.
the mix-in. That's the important distinction.
Yeah, I don't care about like Oreos themselves in ice cream. I just want like the cream as a flavor of ice cream.
Dude, I want to get Cold Stone today.
I mean, it is your birthday. We can do whatever the hell. Yeah. It's just we've been eating so unhealthy these few days.
It's my birthday! It's fine! And our anniversary. We get to combine it together.
One I also really like that's extremely rare is like bubblegum ice cream.
Like good bubblegum ice cream. Sometimes they just don't include enough of the flavor and it's so bland and blah. But yeah, oh my god, back in Hokkaido, they, if you hear Hokkaido cream, it is they make the best ice cream because the
Kei-chan
cows
も
up in
気づいてたとはね。
Hokkaido are so happy.
俺を
They're just
いつ
so
までも
happy,
新入部員
and they
扱い
make
し
the
ない
ice
こ
cream
とだ
from
ぜ
their milk, and it's delicious.
実に
So
美味し
yes,
くない
no,
です
there's a
よ
lot of creamy, delicious, smooth things in Japanese cuisine, and
こんな
Hokkaido
わ
ice
たあ
cream
め
is
の
one
食
of
べ
them.
方
So
き
if you ever get to go,
っと日本
highly
中でも
recommend.
ここだけだよ
Well, I prefer Cold Stone to that, but it was very nice for more of like the soft servey kind of thing.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. Well, it's that's soft serve because here soft serve is more like
それ
frozen
でもおじ
yogurt,
さんは
whereas there
勝つ
it's
けどね。
like soft serve ice cream. It's not like
白磁気勝負ではミオさん
crystalline,
には
you
かない
know,
ませんわね
watery or whatever.
ああまあ
It just depends on where you get it.
Yeah, thanks, Matt
何あん
Tasty.
たたち。
Yeah, this is a good way to spend my birthday. I got to sleep
次
in
は焼き
until
そ
like
ばにブ
noon.
ルーハワイか
Oh
け
my
て食べる
god,
勝負
I
に
never
したい
get
わ
to sleep
け
in. I'm so happy. Oh,
Shake, shake. Both Satoko and I shook our heads in unison.
shake, shake,
They're still
shake.
playing food games,
あのさ
like eating contests.
今度はちょっと食べ物から離れたゲー
Reina's
ムを
like,
し
can
な
we
いか
just
な
please take a
しない
break?
かな
Reina's proposal was a godsend. It's about time we played a different kind of game. It also seemed like neither Rena nor Rika-chan were any good at speed eating or gorging themselves.
Which is not a,
じゃあ
you
レ
know,
ナ次のゲー
bad
ムをあんたに任せ
thing.
るよ
But you're not good
何
at
でも
that.
いい
If you want them to stay nice and fit and cute or whatever, you can't eat all the
じゃあ
time.
ねレナは審判だよこのお祭り会場でかいいものを探してくるの制限時間は
Just
1
bring
分
her cute things,
All the cute
上
things.
等ですわ
which could be
レ
anything
ナ
at
の
this
好み
point.
は分かってますもの
よし多分
Gosh.
あれなら勝てる
やーいダンあれケイチ君とリカちゃんはなんでスタートしないんだろうしないんだろう
Mion and Satoko dashed off madly, but Rika-chan and I calmly stayed right where we were.
Oh no.
ひょっとしてもう見つけてあるのかいいの
Yeah, just bring all the lactose
もう見
pills.
つけてあり
You
ま
know.
すです
My dad
ケイ
is
チもです
very,
ね
very lactose intolerant, and those lactate pills are a godsend.
Yeah, I like almond Baki. It helps break up the... I don't know, it just feels more substantial. You get more food for your buck.
It's more fancy.
あ
Yeah, there's more diversity in the texture.
なんだろう楽しみ
Both Rika-chan and I stood motionless for those few moments before Mion and Satoko returned.
こういう形で直接
Oh
対
yeah,
決
I
す
am
るのは
definitely on the salted caramel
初めて
train.
だな。
Like, salt really does increase
初めてしま
flavors.
すです
I know Daikun's gonna
Eh,
disagree.
just give me caramel, not salted caramel.
あれで
But the
勝つ
salted caramel gives it that little extra oomph.
No,
僕も部員
Yeah.
です
no.
You've had salted caramel before without knowing, and you liked it. The moment you saw what it was, you're like, I don't like
快
it.
速第3条ですよ
Guarantee.
Meow.
Guarantee.
Seems Japan doesn't do dairy at all. No, of course they do dairy. What are you
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about?
I mean, there are a lot of people in Japan who are lactose intolerant. That is very true because that's just, you know, I think also China has the same issue, I think, because, you know, there wasn't a lot of dairy, but with globalization, they have embraced dairy and bakery goods. Oh my god, Japan has taken French bakeries and just, like, made them so much better. Like, oh my god.
One of my favorite things is going to a public bath in Japan and then afterward getting some of the like one of those bottles of milk.
Oh, yeah. They just in a vending machine.
Yeah.
You can choose, like, strawberry milk, chocolate milk, Indian skim, or whole.
It's just amazing milk either way, though.
So good, especially because it was in because we were there with Mike with your brother, right?
Yep.
That was Hokkaido milk. Like that was good. Like
カレー
No, that was in
God.
羽
Sapporo.
鳥線昔懐かしのブリキ看板だ
I said that's Sapporo.
yeah,
You said Hokkaido.
yeah. Well, Sapporo is in Hokkaido.
Oh wait, duh.
Yeah.
Right. City in on the island.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Yo.
Derp.
you good? No, I'm not really good with my Japanese geography.
I
Actually.
suck at all geography. Literally all geography I suck at.
ありがとうございます
Well, the really good one to get you better at it is that GeoGuessr game that I've been playing.
Yeah, I know, and I
Oh
don't.
my god, it's so fun.
It's fun to watch people play it, but I don't like it. I wouldn't want to play it
We
myself.
should do some of that for a stream.
Stream GeoGuessr?
Yes!
I know some people do that.
Dude, that'd be fun. I would love that. We should do that. Alright, who in the chat would like to see a GeoGuessr stream of me and Daikun trying to figure out where the fuck we are in the world?
出ませんわ。
Because I've been practicing. I can kind of help.
We've only got 23 people in this chat. This is a very underperforming live stream,
but
to
these
be
are the
honest.
but these are the folks who come and who care, and I want their opinion to matter. So your opinion does matter. So if you want to see it, then we'll do it.
次はリカちゃんか。
Yes.
道具もなしにどんな手を使うやら。
Yes. It'd be fun. We could even try to do like Japan exclusive. That might not go very well because a lot of it really looks the same. I even had a lot of my coworkers playing that, and they were like, they were scarily good at finding exactly where they were in specific places where they've been. But other locations, they were just like, all right, this looks just like Gunma. I have no freaking clue where this is.
Vancouver's in Canada, right?
Huh?
Vancouver.
No, Gunma.
No. I said Vancouver is in Canada. I'm talking to the chat.
Oh, yes, Vancouver is Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, Canada.
This is kind of your first stream. Well, welcome to the stream.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah, it's just when I'm doing like Fate Grand Order, I can have 4 times this many people in a stream. I don't know, maybe people, they all voted for Higurashi, but then they don't come watch Higurashi. I don't understand.
But we still appreciate you guys, because you're the ones that matter. You're the ones that come and show up constantly and make it fun. So we love that. So thank you. Oh, City Guesser. That's even better. Woo! Alright, yeah, we'll do multiplayer. That'll be fun. I'm sure, like, that would be hilarious to watch.
Oh my god, UK? Yeah, I wouldn't know a damn thing. So
Yeah.
anyway, let's try to rein it back in just a tiny bit and focus on the actual game here.
Okay.
I don't mean to, we're just getting a little off base.
I know, but thank you guys so much. Really do appreciate it.
So they're trying to bring cute things to Rena.
Yes.
But they're all gonna, they have no chance to win because Rika can just waddle over to her and use herself as the cutest thing. So Rika-chan had a lump on her forehead and tears welled up in her eyes. Only her fingers peeked out from her sleeves. This was the vital part. The palms of her hands were covered by her sleeves. She just made a single sound.
Me.
She's so cute.
Welcome, Osama. Yes, I'm glad you... Yay! From the speedrunning lore. That's good.
Very
That's
cool.
good. I'm glad YouTube is like actually showing me to new people.
Good
You
job,
kind
YouTube.
of need that. My channel's been struggling a bit lately because I've been diversifying my content, and YouTube prefers it when you just make the same shit again and again and again and again and again. Like, I was talking about it with Saya4, the other Fate YouTuber, not VTuber, and he only makes Fate videos and only standalone. He doesn't live stream, he doesn't any of that stuff, and his videos are making way more views than mine. When it used to be the opposite, which is crazy.
忘れてましたですの。
Get back there.
一番身近な手を忘れてました。
There was like a job posting for Google being like a partner program abuse like analyst or something, and I was like, oh god, I would love to get that job so I can figure out what the fuck their algorithm does, because it's ridiculous. Like,
完璧だただの苔を萌えにまで昇華したこれぞまさに芸術と呼ぶにふさわしい
ね
ケイちゃんの方がわかんねえセンスしてるよ。
Well, that's the thing too, is it's like YouTube thinks that, oh yes, you are someone who is known for providing videos on a very specific topic, and so when that topic comes up, we are more likely to spit you right at that topic. So it does that, as opposed to when you're a bigger YouTuber, like the bigger a YouTuber you are, the more baseline subscribers you have. People who are willing to click on your videos not because of what you're covering, but because it's your video. And so they watch it for you.
Yes.
And once you get good to that point, then you can diversify and YouTube will be like, ah, I get it. You yourself are a brand. And I've been trying to build OtakuDaiKun as a brand and not just Fate. But
that's
it's,
kind of how
it's
it
hard.
ended up. Which is
it's
fine.
hard.
Because we love Fate. Fate is Laifu. But yeah.
But
no,
I'm
it's
just
fun.
saying that's the struggles of a YouTuber, especially me in particular, who doesn't want to make just one type of video. and I definitely don't want to make like quicker clickbaity stuff that only matters for a short amount of time. Like, I want to make videos that you could come back and watch like 7 years later and it's still relevant because it's a video on like the lore of a show or something.
You know, someday they're gonna refer to this for like, you know, history lessons. You know, your lore. It'll be fine. And you'll get royalties and it'll be great. That's the hope.
さあケイイチ僕に勝てますですか
Uh-oh.
He didn't go anywhere either. So what did he have up his sleeve? It must be just my imagination, but I see a demon inside her
You know,
sometimes.
that's not
ケイちゃんにも何
entirely
か
off.
不覚があってのことだろうけど
Spoilers.
何を見せてくれるのかな
Oh god, Rika.
私としましてもケイイチさんのお手並み拝見でございますわひょっとしてケイイチもゲイをしますですね
Just make that sudden switch could really hurt you.
Yep. It's nuts.
I basked in their pointed stares. I pulled Rena, who gave no sign of canceling out of cute mode, away from Rika-chan.
はうかいのかいのケイイチくん離して
今から俺がもっと可愛いのを見せてやるから少し我慢しろ。
もっとかいいの
だがここはちょっとギャラリ
Like, I
ー
was watching, like, what was that guy we've been
Kage.
watching lately? With all the laugh you lose videos.
You laugh, you lose, yeah.
What's his name?
Fuck, it was like something with a J. It was like
Jay.
Johnny or Joey or something. You guys probably know.
Crap. But, like, he's the one who has, like, you know, his view, like, the streams are always, like, you know, spamming, like, Among Us or Coom, you know? Like, that's
Well,
just
he definitely plays up
insane.
to the sort of like, it's not Twitter in this case, but yeah, that kind of like wild crowd.
Yes, the wild crowd. You guys are, like, the, like, intellectual, like, fun crowd. Yeah. You're still wild, which we appreciate, because that's the cool part. But, yeah, I love how respectful and just, like, you know, interesting of a community that has built around the dai-chan. So, it's really cool to see. It's very, very cool.
Mion and Satoko passed by me, heading straight to Rena.
変なことって一体何でございますの
You know, it's not a bad idea.
For a moment.
We could do, like, a Vine reaction. Sorry.
Rena was too dazed to realize someone was talking to her.
なんだみーちゃんか
レナ大丈夫ケイちゃんに変なことされなかった
レナ変なことはされなかったよ
Maybe.
かなりの重傷ですわケイイチさんは一体何を見せましたの
Just be anime memes,
とって
period.
も可愛かったよ
But that's already what Lost Pause does.
But he's not you.
レナあんた何を見せられたの
Stickman animation fights? I don't know which specific ones you're referring to. Okay, Rena let out a really long Her eyes sparkled as she spoke.
可愛かったよケイイチくん
I'm scared she's gonna become, like, get, like, an aneurysm or something.
Wham! Whoa!
What kind of sound is that?
In the blink of an eye, Mion and Satoko's elbow smashed into my face.
Ow.
You enjoy seeing new things with the channel. Oh, I know. Thank you, Sakuba Sakura. It's that kind of thing that helps channels diversify, is having like patrons and members and support like that, because otherwise, yeah. This you laugh you lose thing reminds me of those 24-hour specials of the variety show Downtown no Gaki no Tsuhai. Oh, Tsukai, sorry. Where comedians weren't allowed to laugh or else they would get whacked. Oh, those are really funny.
Yes.
Especially when, like, the big beefy guy walks in the room and, like, starts doing, like, muscle poses and shit.
Or just, like, starts doing, like, a little dance, and it's just like, oh, fuck, okay.
Yeah,
can't. That's funny.
Or those ones where you stick, like, a harmonica in someone's mouth.
Yes! Oh, those are funny.
Because they can't hide it.
Yeah, just...
What the fuck did he show them, though?
何
Oh, God.
レナに汚ねえもん見せやがって
But she found it cute.
マジ
Nani?
重複して差し上げますでございます。
Oh jeez.
違う誤解だ
A dark, billowing aura flowed from Mion and Satoko. It was no good. They're gonna kill me!
Oh no! みーちゃん、なんだかわかんないけど誤解だよ。ケイイチ君は
Well, no. What did he have?
オットセイさんのキーホルダーですよ。
What?
Fur seal.
Okay.
Mika-chan stuck her
it
hand
look like a
into my
penis?
pocket
Like, why
and
is
pulled
it
out
so
my
nude?
keychain. Well, no, they don't know.
Oh.
昔夏休みの宿題で作ったと言ってますです。
Naruto. Okay.
恥ずかしいのでめったに人に見せないとも言ってますですよ。ちっちゃくて可愛くて精一杯頑張ったって感じがとっても素敵だったよ。
なんだ
What are you doing?
Rain down ideas. Because I don't want to ruin your paper.
This is your mind. I don't really listen to him a lot. You and Nuxtaku seems not compatible with me at all. I don't know. Like I would do it, I guess. It's just he seems. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe you guys would be better at picking up what I'm trying to feel, but I just don't know.
できるおじさんはケイちゃん
I
の
wanna know.
He doesn't look like he takes things seriously, whereas I kind of do.
さすがミオさんですわ。
Like he's just a massive troll all the time. What's a fur seal? I imagine it's what it sounds like.
I assume it's like a fluffy little seal, like a stuffed animal seal.
間違える方向もワイルドで
I'm
すこと。
guessing.
They slung insults at each other and looked like they were ready to tear into each other at any second. I beg of you, if I'm in the clear, would you mind getting off of me? Mystery Science Theater 3000? Yeah. Like Sora? What do you mean Sora? We were interrupted by the flash of a camera.
やあみんな相変わらず元気そうだね
Oh, hi, Pex Man.
It was
It's nice to see you.
Tomitake-san. As I lay crumpled on the ground, Mion and Satoko continued to bicker above me. Mika-chan was patting me on the head, and Rano was still in cute mode. It was probably quite a lively scene.
こんばんはではございますが、レディーに断りもなくお写真を撮るのはエチケット違反でございますことよ。
そうだな
Oh yeah, Mystery Science Theater 3000. Heck yeah, that's actually what my family, we actually used to go to this like 24-hour science fiction marathon back in Boston, and it's exactly what it is. It's 24 hours straight of like, very little breaks of just bad sci-fi movies back to back to back. Occasionally they'll show a good one. Like one year they showed The Matrix when it came out, and they showed Serenity one year. That was really cool. But the rest of them are like really bad. And pretty much the whole idea is you just heckle the entire time. And it was like pretty much live action Mystery Science Theater 3000. It was awesome.
相変わらず口が悪いな
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that guy.
Sora the Troll.
Favorite chips? Hickory sticks?
Chips. Wanna listen to me eat some chips?
Chips aren't really one of my favorite things. I guess I don't hate them, but probably just like...
Pita chips.
They're okay if you can dip them, but I guess it's just like... I guess I used to really love potato sticks. Or things like Cheez-Its and Goldfish. I like those, if those count.
その毒舌もまた半
And
年
also,
聞けな
that's
いか
also
と
one
思
of
う
the
と
reasons
残
why
念だよ
I fell for Daikun, because he was a
せいぜい
Camera
今
guy.
夜を楽しんでらっしゃい
There's nothing hotter
明
with
日
the
の
guy
夜
in
には
glasses
もう
with the
東京なん
camera
ですからね
そうだね
who knows his
星
way
が見え
around
る
Final
夜空なん
Cut.
てまた半年お預けだもんね
Tomitake-san looked up at the night sky cheerfully. At that moment, even though he was smiling, I sensed a bit of sadness.
富武さんいっそ住めばいいじゃないですかひなみ沢
Tomitake-san was
確か
speechless.
に不便なとこです店もないし娯楽もないし何もないかもしれないけど
Everyone knew what I was trying to say. Tomitake-san was also well aware. So Rena, Mion, Satoko, and Rika-chan, none of them butted in.
俺はまだここに引っ越してきて一月も経たないからよくわからないけど
I used to like sour cream and onion, too.
I love sour cream and onion.
Normally,
That's
I'm
my
a really
go-to.
talkative guy, but in situations like this, I'm at a loss for words. Even though all this was happening in such a boisterous setting, it felt like all the background noise was fading into the distance.
ここにはきっと
Tomitake-san rested his hand on me gently, silencing me.
ありがとな圭一君ミオンちゃんにレナちゃんサトコちゃんにリカちゃん
Tomitake-san's smile was so slight it looked like as if it was going to crumble away any minute. But it was warm.
僕もここに住めたら
We
きっ
go
と
to
楽しいだろうなって
Mitoki-san a
思うよ
hug.
Those might have been cruel words coming from a kid who didn't need to worry about working to feed himself.
Especially if you're a photographer. You're not making a lot of money.
A hand touched my back. It was Rena.
ケイチ君、大人をいじめちゃかわいそうだよ。
Thank you, Reina.
The background clamor of the festival returned.
またしばらくのお別れなんですからね。今夜は富武さんにもたくさん楽しんでもらわなくっちゃ。
Why won't you be seeing him for a
When
while?
Rena smiled, the mood instantly got brighter.
そうだねぜひそうさせてもらうよ
Yay!
あ、ねえねえみーちゃん、
Be
どうだろ
nice to
う。
Tomitake.
富武さんを部活に入部させてあげるのは。
That's a great idea. Or so I thought, but Mion had a snobbish look on her face.
入部条件の一つにひなみ沢在住ってのがあるんだけどね。
Okay, here's the thing. Elon Musk buying Twitter, overall, I don't mind. I'm not nearly afraid like other people are. Nor am I like being like, yes, screw you guys. But at the same time, I guess the biggest problem is when you put all of your eggs in one basket, it's like, okay, so now Elon Musk has a huge control over Twitter. If he winds up doing something you don't like, you're screwed and you have nothing you can do about it. Which is basically how Twitter already was, as far as I'm concerned.
Pretty much.
Thankfully, I don't expect Elon to, like... I agree that I want it to be less censored. I want it to be more of posting what you want to post. And I already felt like Twitter was already kind of the Badlands for that anyway.
You
Like,
can literally post porn.
you can.
Yeah,
And
doesn't
so
matter.
I never really felt like my freedom of speech was ever restricted on Twitter to begin with. Maybe people who like got all pissy and said stuff that got them like banned or kicked off, whatever. But ultimately, I guess, well, that's the thing. People are like, oh no, they're gonna bring Trump back, and I'm just like, I just don't think politicians should use Twitter, period.
Yes.
Like, they should be more professional about how they communicate with people.
Exactly. I totally agree.
But
Oh, thank
as
you.
long as I can still use Twitter to network with all of the best, like, anime artists that I see, then I'm fine. That's what I really use it for anyway.
Absolutely. No, it's supposed to be, you know, people don't exist in a vacuum, and you shouldn't exist in a vacuum.
今日くらい意地悪
And you know, there's always going to be that gray area about, you know, what's acceptable versus what's infringing upon free speech and blah blah blah. But you can only do your best. And my policy is if someone just repeatedly causes harm one way or another, they just need to go. You know, that's how it's always been. Like when you're a child, if you act up, you get put in, you know, detention, or you get put in timeout. You know, that's a normal consequence. So, but otherwise, if it's not hurting anybody, because porn definitely doesn't hurt anybody, unless it's.
Why were they banning people for saying learn to code? Have I seen Spy X Family? Of course I have. I need to watch the newest episode, though.
Well, I wonder if, like, that was, like, a spam, because I've seen spam filters, and I wonder
I don't know.
if there was, like, a learn to code here, like, you know, just, like, those,
Oh, maybe.
like
I don't
spam.
know. Let's see what they have to say, though.
Yeah. No, I have a suspicion, because whenever I have people at work complaining that something's been blocked, I'm just like, someone probably reported that as spam, like, a bazillion times.
Tomitake-san stepped back slightly at our audacious grins.
部長、園崎美音の名において名誉市民富武氏
I just think you should never use Twitter to try and say anything serious. It's not the platform for it. It's short term, it's reactionary, it's not intellectual by any means.
Although I do appreciate, like, the fire department and the police departments, they do provide like live updates about like fires.
Well, that's not a
like
discussion.
that.
That's what it's
No.
that's what it's good for.
Those are serious
is,
updates.
Update like quick little news blurbs are good.
Yes, non-serious discussion and serious updates. I like that.
複雑化する社会に対応
Yeah, and thank you again, Sakuba Sakura.
様々な条件か時には順境あるいは逆境からいか
All
に
the
して
spam. Blame spam bots. They always ruin everything.
レナは弱いからいじめないでほしいな。仲良くやろうね。
Like, for example, I don't know if anyone's experienced this, but there's a big widespread issue where emails are ending up in spam more often when they get sent to AOL and Yahoo emails. We just found this out because we had a bunch of people who weren't getting client emails, and we're like, what the fuck? But yeah, it's because they increased their spam stuff recently, so like pretty much everything is ending up in spam. So if you have any friends or family with Yahoo or AOL email addresses, be sure to let them know to check their spam folders and, you know, tell them which ones are safe and which not, because that's happening. But yeah, spam sucks, and spam bots ruin things for everybody.
Okay, so to clarify, Ari-chan, the learn to code thing was people's response to mocking coal miners and things like that.
Oh, shit.
I guess people who were like out of jobs, right? Is that the idea?
Oh, that sucks. I mean, it's not a bad idea because there are places like the place I'm about to start where you don't actually have to pay them any money until you like get a job, which is really cool. It's called an ISA. So that's good, but that really sucks that that has become, you know, a reaction to just blatantly calling out people who are losing their jobs. It's like,
ルールは
what
い
the
つも
fuck?
通り B にはもちろん
Like,
お約
why?
束の罰ゲーム
Ugh. Yeah, instead, they could be like, I'm sorry to hear you're losing your job. You know, there's some other opportunities where you can apply those same skills. Here's an idea. You know, it's, you know, that would be more constructive. So yes, I understand why that's being blocked. That sucks.
Well, I don't think it should be blocked.
No.
That's the thing.
But I
So-
understand why it's on such a reactionary, you know, spam block. Because that's what happens. Like, you block something when it's immediate, and then once it kind of teeters off, you can probably bring those back again once it's not so much of an issue.
これが童心ってやつなんだな。
Oh boy. Yeah, working in IT is a constantly evolving game, for sure. Yeah.
来たかい。その先の嬢ちゃん、今年は大人数みたいじゃねえの。
Yes! All the food.
あんたの店猫好きから払いに来たよ
You're going to eradicate your entire stock.
Oh, the shooting gallery.
Yeah.
Of course. We gotta go through all the tropes of the festival.
Of course.
It was the usual setup where you had to knock down the prize you wanted with a cork gun.
ルールは簡単3発撃って得られた景品のデカさで勝負しよう
Yeah, YouTube Rewind, I never watched it because it seemed stupid.
Dude, is that like a BB gun?
Yeah, it's a cork gun.
Oh.
Oh, well, you can win a
You
BB
can
gun.
win, or is it an airsoft gun?
It's probably an airsoft or something.
Wow. Yeah, you wouldn't have that anywhere else.
The biggest prize at the stall, it went without question. It was the one that wasn't it. Wait, it was that one, wasn't it? Sorry. Oh, the teddy bear?
あのクマさん
It's not that big. Reina was
Of
gazing
course.
longingly at a large stuffed animal.
Oh.
It was intentionally placed on an unsteady platform, so it was possible to get it off if you hit it the right spot.
と一瞬思わせる絶妙な配置が見事だな。
さすがケイチさん一発でカンパすると思いましたわ
ここは無難にキャラメルや人形を狙うのが定石のようだ
Yeah,
ね。
they're probably like bolted down to
The intent analysis had already begun. In this club, you'll get eaten alive if you don't come prepared. Everything hinges on what plan you can come up with before the main event. At some point, a large crowd had gathered around us, making a big fuss. There was this much of a following for our club's infamous event?
クマさんを落とせれば勝利は確定しますですね
Yeah.
3発しかないんだぜ。それを確かめるために使うには重いな。
へいへい。他のお客さんも待ってるんだぜ。最初のチャレンジャーは誰からだい？
先に挑戦した方が楽な景品を狙えて有利かもしれないけど、
It's only like $3
鉄砲の
bucks.
癖が見えないうちの挑戦は危険だね。
Tomitake-san's take on the situation is pretty good. He gets what our club is about.
Yeah.
じゃあさ
Just
公平
Div
に
guy.
じゃんけんで決めるのはどうかなどうかな
Daikun, when all the beasts are done by the games, will you do a dedicated video covering all the beasts, or will you do them as they come up? I was hoping to, yeah, cover more of them, I guess. Or see if there was a larger point to the beasts, because they just kind of show up, you kill them, and then they're gone. But, I don't know. Yeah, I realize Saya just made his own video about it, but I'll probably wait to be a bit more thorough.
Yeah, because you get the thorough treatment.
It'll be with the Lessons in Magecraft series, probably.
結局それしかないかね。
じゃんけん
Fun! Hi, so good. Yeah, rock, paper, scissors is very different. In
After a
Japan.
couple of matches, it ended up with Mion being first.
Hi, cool to show.
一番は避けたかったんだけど。
I don't get what you're saying, Drifter, and why you're saying it.
そらよ
Do I watch Stranger Things? Not really. I've seen like a summary of it. When the shooting range guy handed her a rifle, Mion looked at it intently. She didn't forget to check the cork bullet either.
オッケー。この銃はおろしたてだね。癖はなし。悪くない。
What if I collabed? Maybe. If he's interested, I suppose.
Yeah!
Enjoy the Magecraft? Yes.
Woo! Go Mion!
It was completely different from her careful inspection. She was shooting from the hip.
Ooh!
Fire! Reload. Fire! Reload. Fire! Flop.
There's a flop!
Flop, flop.
Flop, flop.
3 candy boxes fell, one after the other.
Oh,
A big haul.
Ina!
The crowd paused in a moment of awe, and then erupted in cheers.
Oh, because I think Drifter, you live in Scotland, right? That's hilarious.
やるでございますわ
Okay, I see.
That's pretty freaking funny. So the
No, I
judge
get it, I
is
get it, I
Dick
get
Butt.
it.
Really? His name is Dick Butt? He really didn't want to change his name? Ouch. Oh no. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, as expected of Mion. She's pretty good.
But everyone voted for Higurashi, so... I would love to stream Witch on the Holy Night, but I'm worried about the potential for them to do another streaming embargo. If I were playing the old release of the game and there was no announcement of a new one, then I'd be like, oh, yeah, then they probably don't give a shit. But will we make another cooking video? Maybe.
We should, because now we got better camera that's not going to make everything look like it's the Matrix.
No, that was my doing.
That was just that was your phone.
No,
It
it wasn't.
recorded like that.
It wasn't. No, it was me doing shitty color correction.
Uh,
Tomitake-san was at a loss for words after seeing such shooting prowess.
you should do a poll about food and see who would be interested in seeing the food.
No, there isn't one. They're asking if we were to make one.
3つ
Yeah! No, we
Ac-
should, because I've got my mom's kitchen now.
Her accuracy was incredible. Her choice of targets wasn't bad either. The 3 Mion had gone after were fairly large and pretty easy to knock over. They were all targets with very high return on investment.
2番手は誰？さとこ？気をつけて。弾が軽い。
Next up was Satoko. The rifle looked a bit big for her lithe body, but it didn't seem like she had any problem with the weight.
It's a good thing that she
やはりこ
suspected it
こは
first.
大物狙いで行かせてもらい
She's
ま
like
す
doing
わ
recon on the gun.
She proclaimed that she was going after the teddy bear. Damn, Satoko, such a bold move.
クマさんを落とせばその時点でさとこちゃんのトップは確定するね
No, our camera was not that shit. Ari-chan doesn't know what she's talking about.
It was having problems.
No, it wasn't.
And what?
No, it
Because
wasn't.
you wouldn't have done the color correction if it hadn't gone right to the green.
No, I was always trying to do color correction with live action footage. I'm just terrible with colors.
No.
So stop.
No.
She aimed at the target quite carefully and squeezed the trigger.
弾が軽いですわ。
The first 2 bullets struck the bear in the torso, but it only shifted a bit. You need to aim higher towards the head or it won't work. Yes, we made a video about Saber's cookies. We made those on the stream. Not on stream, on video.
Yeah, the main thing is that our kitchen has terrible lighting. So the camera is not that bad, but it had a really hard time.
Your mom's kitchen may not have, like,
Oh, it's
lighting,
beautiful.
period, though.
No, it's beautiful. Oh my god, in the afternoon, it's like, ah, it's got that perfect, like, glow that those other videos have. So, we do it.
残念でございますけれど、私にクマは2が勝ちすぎているみたいですわね。
She went boldly after the big catch, but since he switched over to less impressive prey at the last second, the crowd only gave a strained laugh. Were they laughing because she lacked the courage? Those fools know nothing.
さとこいい仕事をするじゃん。腕を上げたね。
Yeah, Satoko hasn't gotten good at shooting. Yet. The palm of Mion's outstretched hand went pumph as it tapped down lightly on Satoko. She appeared to just be talking hot air, but this was actually completely calculated. Damn that Satoko. Just to avoid being in last place, she dared to switch over to an easy target. Without shame or honor. Magnificent.
クマはレナさんに譲って
Yes, just throw the gun.
健闘をお祈りしましたよ。
Better surface area. I'm sure that's against the rules, but it would work.
I am partially colorblind. I don't know if that's exactly an excuse in this case, but Reno is up next. It's not like I can't see colors. I can see them quite well, but for some reason I have a really hard time. I don't look at colors and be like, oh, that's such a bad matchup or something necessarily. Like some people, it's like, oh, that doesn't look like a skin tone. I'm like, it looks kind of like one to me, I guess. Huh. I don't know. It's tricky.
No, it's interesting, because I never thought what it'd be like to see it through, you know, what you can see. They have those, like, color correction glasses that, like, are for people who are colorblind.
It's probably a bit late for that, though, for me to change my perception of things.
Not necessarily. There are people, there are, like, videos of people who are, like, you know, probably a little older than us who are seeing them for the first time, and then it's like, whoa. So, you never know. Kind of cool to try.
You like horror games?
You like horror?
レナちゃんはどうだろうね。
You like the
一つくら
horror?
い当たるといいんだけれど。
富武さんはちょっとレナを
I definitely
甘く見てますね
underestimated just how much. It's not exactly filler, but how long it takes to get anywhere in this
I
thing.
know.
If it was to get that teddy bear, Tomitake-san wheeled around to see what all the commotion the spectators were making was about. If it was to get that bear, she'd be able to shoot it through a pinhole. The one known as Rena Ryugu could do it.
Go, Reina!
揺れてる揺れてるよ。
It's more like a color differentiation issue, where it's like certain types of like bright greens and yellows look pretty much identical to me. Certain dark blues and purples, they don't stand out that much to me. But if you gave me like a broad swatch of a primary color, I'd be like, yeah, that's green, that's yellow, whatever.
Swash, swash, swash.
Or I'd start saying stuff like, well, it's yellow-ish or it's green-ish. It's somewhere in that part of the RGB spectrum.
And I'm always happy to help too. We do that whenever we do character creations. I'll come in and sometimes and just make sure that, you know, if he asks like what this color is, and I'll confirm like.
If it
yeah,
doesn't
that's
let me
green.
do like an eyedropper or something.
Yeah, because a lot of games do not have the eyedropper function, which is annoying. So yeah. Now you good. You do fine. Obvious.
Another big cheer. Rena's bullet hit the bear's forehead again. Not enough. The bear seemed to wobble more than before.
The bear's gonna have a concussion.
でも無理かもしれませんですね。
Is Ari-chan a Southern
Yeah,
Belle
look at
cat
that.
girl? Not really. She's from Massachusetts.
レナちゃんの腕だった
Yeah, I'm
ら
a
ひょっとすると
weirdo. It's weird because I've been in Colorado for almost half my life now, which is bizarre. But yeah, I grew up on the East Coast in Boston.
If Rena had 10 more shots, then she could surely knock it over. But with just one more, no matter how you looked at it, no go. And that's how these things are designed. The crowd let out a dejected groan.
That was quite a groan.
She had shot it right in the forehead 3 times. It was a bit late, but they gave her a good round of applause for the attempt.
Oh.
コマさんお持ち帰
持ち帰り
Thank you, Gumi.
ありがとう
Have you made? No, we haven't made any other dishes from Emiya Cooking, and that's kind of why.
They're a little pricey, just because the ingredients are very specialized in some cases. So we could do substitutions for American ingredients, but there's things like the type of chocolate or the type of like they asked for like vanilla paste versus.
We can do like actual food instead of a dessert this time.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Then at that moment, the old man flicked one of the candy boxes with his finger and handed it to Reina.
こいつはジョーちゃんのだぜ。
くれるの？
But she doesn't want that.
レナに？
あんなすげえの見せられて手ぶらで返しちゃ、お天道様に申し訳が立たねえぜ。
Except all these games are a scam. They're designed so that either they won't work at all or they only work after you spend a certain amount of money.
Yep.
There was another shower of applause. Reina turned bright red and I pulled her back over to us by her hand.
頑張ったじゃないかよ。
Yay.
モードのレナにゃ
Yeehaw Junction.
Yeehaw Junction? Oh boy.
惜しかったよコマさん。
It was easy to see that I only needed a little more to be knocked over.
Aw.
Reina had done quite a lot for me. I still need to pay her back for that delicious picnic.
よっしゃ。そんなら俺が
Yeah, picnics are priceless, man.
僕が取ったらプレゼントするよ。
This requires a lot of work.
What? Tomitake-san had stolen the words right out of my mouth.
お願いね富武さん。頑張れ。
Damn you, you old man, Tomitake! Stealing the good parts for yourself? A small hand stretched over and fell gently on my head just before I was overcome with frustration.
ケイイチもファイト王ですよ。
ねえ、ファイト
Well, I want to do it with the Emiya cooking because then we can intercut it with all the cool stuff
Well,
from
they
the game.
do karaage, I think.
No, they don't. They don't do
They don't
karaage.
do karaage?
No, they don't.
No?
Tomitake-san carefully studied the bear. Setting his sights, he shouldered the rifle while holding the other 2 shots in his hand.
どういうことだ
Let me get the list. I'll be right back.
間違いない。
What do you mean, the list?
I want to get my phone.
富武のおっさんの狙いは
I don't know if you'll find one easily. Pwop. The time between shots was short. It was meaningless to shoot again once it stopped shaking. So Tomitake-san was relying on rapid fire to win the battle. It was visibly wobbling much more than it ever had before. But that was all. It still didn't fall over.
残念だった。
You want the Sakura chocolate tart? All of Rena's momentary expectations from watching it sway violently turned into a dejected sigh.
結構いけると思ったんだけどな。
男だとキャラメルはもらえないようでございますわね。
Sexism! That was it! It meant Tomitake-san had no spoils of war.
つまりケイちゃんとリカちゃんは手堅く楽なものを撃ち落とせばビリ回避ってわけだね。
ビリ回避か。あ、すみませんね。
今度はケイイチ君の番だよ。検討。
The salmon dish? Maybe. I'm not much of a fish guy. But I certainly could try. Or at least fish the way it's done in Japan, where it's just like, I don't know, everything has the bones. It was the 5th shooter. I took the rifle from Tomitake-san. If I took the ruthless route, as Mion had suggested, then I'd go for something insignificant. Except, when I picked up the rifle, I definitely got a feeling from it. It was burning passion, passed down to me by Tomitake-san. The regret of not being man enough to fell the bear that Rena wanted. Yes, that's right. If I didn't aim for the bear, then I wouldn't be a man.
約束しちまったからな。レナに。
約束？
あのクマを撃ち落としてレナにプレゼントするって。
それって
The crowd went wild when they saw our conversation. That's not it. Fine men of the crowd. If I didn't do this, then Rena might mug the old man running the stall on his way home. No, that's not it. That's not it at all. Why can't I just express my honest feelings?
ケイイチさんも男を見せますのね。でも実際どうやってクマを落とす気ですの？
Shrimp would be out because Ari-chan's allergic. I won't do nothing with shrimp.
レナや富武の玉で幾分傾きはしましたですが、難しいと思いますで。ケイイチくん、
もっと素早い連射力があれば一撃ごとの揺れに。
頑張ってケイイチくん。
After taking 2 deep breaths, I shouted over to the guy.
鉄砲もう2丁貸してくれ。
Huh? The crowd murmured amongst themselves.
ケイイチさんは何を企んでいるのでしょう。一人じゃ3丁は使えないですのよ。
読めたよ。ケイちゃんも考えたじゃん。
Mion was able to figure it out magnificently.
つまり一番時間がかかってるのがこのコルク玉の装填なんだよ。
そうだよね。じゃあ先に弾を詰めた鉄砲を3つ並べておけば。
Tomitake-san went silent, peering at me and the bear through his lens. His photographer's blood predicted a miracle will occur. And then when the crowd finally picked up on what I was planning, they let out a great cheer. They chanted my name, Keiichi. Rapid fire is the key. If I miss, all is for naught. After letting out a deep breath, I paused. Relax. Now! That moment, it felt like time itself had stopped. It felt like I could see the trajectory of the bullets. Hit it, and knock it down! The first shot hit the bear on its head. The second, the third. The bear swayed hard, and then... Die, you fucking bear. The cheers began before the stuffed animal even finished falling off the shelf. The guy caught it before it hit the ground and tossed it over to me.
まさか本当に落としやがるとはな。乾杯だぜ。
すごいや。おめでとう、ケイチ君。
Sorry, I was back. My dad gave me a birthday call and I just want to make sure I called him back.
Uh-huh.
And I'm back. Okay. What did I miss?
He finally got the bear.
The bear!
By grabbing 3 rifles instead of reloading it and shooting it all 3 shots in close succession.
Oh, that's so smart. You can do that?
I guess, as long as...
Is that allowed? Because that makes sense. You combine the force into 1 shot instead of 3 individual ones.
Mm-hmm. The day the 5-cent bear died.
The day the 5-cent bear died. Let's see. It's gotta be the wiki. It has all the foods. Let's see.
When Ari-chan does a video, if Ari-chan is the character on screen, then she is saying her own words.
Yes.
If it is dai-chan, she's saying my words.
Yeah. I'm a proxy.
Dai-chan is a gender bend me. I made a video animating my very first Living with My Own Gender Bend comic. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. It kind of explains what Dai-chan is. After holding up the teddy bear like it was a championship trophy, I handed it to Rena.
そうだ。こいつは俺から、いや、みんなからだな。
Oh, okay,
い
here
つ
we
も
go.
うまい弁当、
So we
あり
got
がとな。
spring chirashi, we got fluffy pancakes, sandwich,
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
Ch.1, yummy, rice. Always love Ch.1.
That could be fun.
There's the
She does make
fish.
the fried rice.
I am pretty good at fried rice. I do make a good fried rice. Very happy with that.
About 1/4 of the audience watch it for the creator. I think like maybe like 2% watch it for me, and everyone else watches it for the fate stuff.
That's not true. They love you.
I mean, there's 32 people here, and I have 80,000 subscribers. So you do the math.
We could also try and make the omurice. That would be a fun challenge.
You could. Are Ari-chan and Dai-chan similar opinions? We consider what Dai-chan says to be Ari-chan's opinion too. Not always.
Not always.
No.
Dai-chan and dai-kun are pretty much, you know.
Well, we are the same.
Yeah, it's the same person.
Ari-chan and Dai. Ari-chan and Dai, either chan or kun, can definitely differ.
Hi.
Have some of her own videos uploaded to the channel? Well, she's supposed to. To finish her darn husbando tier list.
It's really hard.
You haven't touched it in like a week.
I know.
So you're not really trying.
Well, okay.
I pushed the stuffed animal towards her again.
Past tense.
This time, she embraced and accepted it. You watch it for the Arnold voice.
The Arnold voice.
When I have something to read, give me a second. Well, Ch.1, how long have you been aware of my videos, I guess is the thing. Because I've been streaming for years, I guess, is the other question. You saw your non-Fate videos, especially your discussion videos. I like hearing your opinions, but I get why a number of people only watch you for your Fate content. Yeah, that's fine. You want the omurice challenge? Rena dove with me. Mion told me a few days later that Rena kissed me, but I didn't realize it during all the excitement at the time. Rena kissed you? Aww. I remembered what I was trying to say to Tomitake-san earlier. This really isn't much of anything here, but there are lots of things you can't find anywhere else. I gained a lot from coming to Hinamizawa, especially at that moment. The crowd's cheers echoed on and on. From the altar set up in the front of the shrine, the drums sounded with a booming echo. It was the finale of the festival. Okay, enough of that. I read your comment, Gumi. I did.
Got to, fam.
Both Rika-chan and Tomitake-san gave their farewells and disappeared into the crowd. Ari-chan does not really have her own channel, no.
No, I have like a dump channel of like my old stuff, which is kind of funny. My greatest achievement on that channel is my Veroni Kenshin AMV. I'm very proud of that still to this day. Yeah, it's like a bunch of random stuff. It's got like a play from when I got like a 6-person kill in Overwatch. It's got like this Guild Wars 2 video I made. It's very random. Feel free to take a look.
じゃあ、ケイちゃんにはレナの世話を頼むかね。私はサトコの世話で忙しいし。
誰がミオンさんの世話になるでございますの？
Oh, Kenny?
Is there a way to check how long you've been a subscriber for Dai? Not real. I mean, you could just remember a video that you've seen as a subscriber and check when it was uploaded. Onikakushi is the first arc, yes. Well, the one I'm playing is the first arc, so yeah, we're just not even, we're barely standing on the iceberg. That's just how long this thing is. Where are you grabbing her?
注文のうるさいやつだな。どこならいいんだ？
My butt.
It's too big.
Grab my butt. I didn't feel ashamed at all. Rena was ashamed enough for the both of us. I grabbed onto Rena's hand and dashed after Mion and the
置い
others.
てかれる。早く行こうぜ。
How the husbando list coming along? Slowly. Still.
You know
She at
what?
least arranged the tier list, but she still has to write all the descriptions.
I know, and the problem is I keep making them too long.
Yep, we said this last stream.
I know we
so
did.
it
I know
means
it's
you've
been a
done
long time.
no progress since then. I hadn't
sorry.
realized Rena's hand was so delicate.
I'll work on it during the movie. How's that?
Maybe she needed a bit more exercise and nutrition. That wasn't what I meant. Not at all. My ears burned. I tried to keep calm. I repeated the phrase, "Keep it together, Keiichi Maibara," in my mind. But it didn't look like I would be able to anytime soon. My VTuber model changed a lot. Yeah, it started from a really shoddy Live 2D one. That was basically like a Photoshop edit of like one of the templates they had, because Live 2D is an absolute bitch. Then I discovered Vroid and, you know. And then I gave them all a nice glow up when Vroid got its public release and it had a better version, so now the hair is nice and shiny. It did something that helped the face too. It just looks a little better than it used to. I really didn't want Rena to see my face right then, so I pushed onwards, dragging her along without looking back even once. There was already a huge group of people gathered at the altar in front of the shrine. The fire at the altar made it as bright as midday and just as hot. There was a pile of futons warded, there was a pile of futons warded with sanctified rope in front of the altar. Come to think of it, they did say it was a festival where they did something with the cotton and futons.
Kenny was chewing on your adapter. There are little teeth marks on there, but everything else is okay.
I don't even use this anymore. I don't know why. I've never had a phone that needed that. That's so weird.
Just thought you'd like to know.
Kenny, I thought you were over chewing through cables, you ass.
No, he's a cat.
No.
It's what he do. Sasuga neko.
すまんすまん。
Yeah, but he's got all sorts of things he can chew.
I know, but he wants to chew.
Making
the
our
things
way
that
through the
we think are
massive
important.
people, we reached the spot they'd saved.
どう？ちょっとはレナとドキドキできた？
When's the next solar eclipse? That's when she'll finish.
やっぱりてめえ。
I'll work on it today,
そういうつもりだっ
okay?
たのか。
Instead of replying, Mion gave us a perverse grin.
レナはどうだった？
Yeah, before you do any of the things on this little idea list of yours, finish what you start.
ケイちゃんの手って意外に大きいとか思わなかった？
2 to 4 years. Yeah, I've been like over 6 years since I started. I've been through a lot. Raina turned bright red, puffs of steam shooting out of her. I heard something slice through the air and turned around to see Mion on the ground with a welt on her face.
ミオ
What?
お前いつ食らったんだ？
ハウのハとウの間くらいだったかな。
Kenny is a dick.
照れ隠しに友達を
Yes,
殴る
he
のは
is. But
よ
he's
く
my
ないぞ
little。baby too.
Who's our little shit?
Who's your little baby shit?
Who's our good little shit?
殴って
Where's
な
my
いよ。
buddy? Come here.
知らないもん。
Extreme death chili sauce, rub the cables in them.
Yeah, we've done stuff like that, but
Well, no,
doesn't
not
care.
not.
Not like death chili sauce.
Yeah,
like,
Jesus.
Like we've done like
not gonna do that to my
like
cat.
that bitter apple stuff.
No, yeah, we put bitter apple, so they're like, bleh.
But he doesn't care.
Not. Oh my God! I need to throw up.
I know. It's more
Thump.
kind of like, oh.
The thunderous beat of the drum echoed, silencing the crowd.
お静かになさいませ。始まりですわ。
Hajimario? It was a solemn ritual.
You're stuck. You're stuck in my shirt.
Rika-chan entered dressed as a shrine
Good
maiden,
boy.
followed by members of the municipal committee.
There you go.
The elders all looked at Rika-chan and clasped their hands in praise. The only thing allowed to disturb the profound silence was the flash from Tomitake-san's camera.
リカちゃんが持ってるあのでかいのはなんだ？
Is a how.
用のクワだ
There's
よ。
a how.
It's a how.
How.
触っちゃいけない。
Higurashi be on the next pole, or will you take it off the pole and should people... I'll put it back on. I'll put it back on the poll if people keep voting for it.
So we haven't gotten to any of the good shit yet.
I know. It's a sacred farming tool that only the Shrine Maiden may touch. It was an awkward shape for a piece of farm equipment, not uncommon for something used in rituals. After reciting a Shinto prayer, Rika-chan approached the pile of futons gathered at the altar. She swung the hoe skillfully, plowing into the futons. Each and every little movement of this performance probably had to be done in a certain way. Without a doubt, this was a
今度は
ritual.
なんだ布団叩きかな
あれはね、人間に代わって冬の病魔を吸い取ってくれたお布団を清めてるの。
ケイちゃんのお布団叩きって表
You have
現も
Chinese for dinner?
まあ
Yum.
外れじゃない
I
か
love
ね。
Chinese food.
That sounds good.
Rika-chan's face was already dripping with sweat. That hoe was probably really heavy. Oh lord, she coming. She staggered side to side with the momentum of each swing. Satoko looked on, silently lending her support.
リカは毎日お餅つきに
A mochi hammer.
Those are heavy too.
Yeah.
Made out of wood.
やりきるでございま
You
すわ
gotta pound that mochi down.
Pound that shit.
Satoko's hands were sweaty, and whenever Rika-chan started to sway a little, she held her breath.
ミオンとかは巫女役立候補しなかったのかよリカちゃんにあの重さは気の毒だよ
Swinging a chain, swinging a chain.
Wait, it'd be crazy if it was a challenge. I remember there was a video of girls panicking after they ate a Carolina Reaper.
Oh,
What is that, like a
God.
chili?
Yes.
I kind of want to see that video now.
It's not even the
そりゃ
the
頼まれりゃ
spiciest.
やるけ
There's
ど
like
ね。
Oh
まあ
my
誰
God.
にでも務まるものでもないし。
そうだよな
I don't love Chinese food, I just love the MSG.
リコは清らかじゃないと
I mean,
ダメ
MSG
だもんな
is like, you know, the spice of life. You know, it just makes everything taste better.
Mion drove her elbow into my side. With the thud of the big drum, Rika-chan gave a solemn bow and descended from the altar. That triggered a round of generous applause.
Hey.
Because I know you're not just a Fate fan, you like so many other anime. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
After the Shinto priest had raised up the cleansed futons like a portable altar, all the spectators stood up, following after the priests. We all marched on at a moderate pace. They descended the shrine's giant stairs in a
今
line.
度は何が始まるんだ布団を川で洗濯か
だから綿流しだってば
The Cotton Riften Festival. The procession continued right up to the bank of the stream.
Pollution.
The fire was stoked high and it was bright as day there, too. People started crowding around it and clamoring.
はい順番並ぶよケイチ君
Yeah.
Wondered what was up. Maybe we'd get some holy wine? Red and white bean buns?
Oh my God.
食べ物じゃないよ
Bean buns are ridiculous. Like they called them like either daifuku or in the small village I was in they called them shibaraku. I don't know why. But they were freaking delicious.
Well, I want to watch a bunch of girls freak out over the spicy food. I don't want to watch a guy who's really good at it.
Yeah, no, we gotta. It's you watch this videos for the reaction.
Ah, but of course. They didn't call it the Wataganashi for nothing. I finally understood. The municipal committee members pulled out the cotton from inside the futons and balled it up like mochi, handing it out to people.
Oh, bacteria.
Rena dove into the line and brought out some for me as well.
Ew.
We then proceeded to bank the stream.
ケイチ君は初めてだからレナのやり方
You
を
don't know
真似
what's
す
in
る
those
んだろ
futons, man.
She held the cotton in her right hand and, waving her hand as if to purify it, she touched it to her forehead, chest, navel, and both thighs.
これを3回繰り返すの心の中ではお社様あ
The
りがとう
very
って
first
唱え
time
るのね
Oyashiro-sama has been mentioned. Haven't been getting my notifications. You gotta watch more of my stuff or whatnot because YouTube... If you don't watch my videos consistently, YouTube guesses, oh, I guess you don't care about them anymore. Even if you're a subscriber. It pisses me off. It does that to people I'm subscribed to, too.
お社様
There was like a hotter one that they did on
あの
like
神社の神様の名前か
Hot Wings, and it was like like
南沢の
it was
守
like
り
a
神
5
様な
million
の
on Scoville scale or something.
ご
I
利
can't
益も
remember.
あるけどたたりもあるんだからね
How you do that.
ちゃんと敬わないとダメ
Hot
だよ
ones. That's what. Let's do the hot
That
ones.
sounded like a pretty frightening god. But, well, when in Rome. I was officially a resident of Hinamizawa now, after all. Doing as Rena showed me, I touched the cotton over myself 3 times. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama.
こ
Oyashiro-sama.
れでね、体についてた悪いのがこの綿に吸い取られたの。で、あとは沢の流れにそっと流してね。おしまい。
Together, Rena and I set our pieces of cotton afloat on the surface of the water. The flowers of cotton blooming in the water had sucked out all the bad illnesses from Hinamizawa and drifted off, disappearing into the distance. Hello! It was wonderful, like those floating lantern festivals I'd seen on TV. The best part was feeling like this rite of passage had made me a true resident of Hinamizawa.
Oh, hello there.
It seems so peaceful now. What time is it?
Yeah.
It's 4:27.
ちょっとした不安だった。誰かを傷つけたいなんて考えもしなかった。それ
How
で
much
も
do we have enough time to get?
不安は孤独を生んで疑念へと変わり、やがて黒い殺意が
Okay, at the next chapter mark, I plan to wrap it up. Unfortunately, we still haven't gotten to the crazy bits because it's just that long of a story.
I know. Next time I won't distract you as much, and then
奈
we'll
落
go
の
more
底だとも
more
気づか
quickly.
ず鬼隠し
All the money and they can't fix this. All the money and that is their fix, basically.
流した涙
They don't care. If you don't watch my videos consistently, they're immediately going to assume you don't care. We're going to give you more of those goofy whatever the hell you wind up clicking on most of the time anyway. Yeah, like I understand it happens. I watch all sorts of YouTube stuff too. And I've seen people I'm subscribed to just disappear entirely. But then they're sitting there in your subscribe feed and you're like, huh. Like, you have some streaming schedule, or you stream when you feel like it? Well, I'm trying to do a stream on Sundays. Today was a bit of an exception because we're busy on Sunday. And the last weekend we were also busy. But hopefully next Sunday is when we'll continue. I think I'm not even going to do a poll. I think I'm just going to jump straight into Higurashi, so we can at least get through the first arc. Once we get through the first arc, we can then vote on whether we'll do another arc. But yeah. While staring off into the stream, I somehow got separated from Rena. I wasn't very lonely, though. I know this place now. This is where I live, my home. It's probably better if I just stay here instead of wandering around aimlessly. Someone would surely find me while I was enjoying the evening breeze. I heard a familiar voice. It was Tomitake-san's. I headed towards it.
どうですか富武さん、いい写真はいっぱい撮れましたか？
ああ、おかげさまでね。
Tomitake-san was with a girl. I felt a little like I was intruding.
圭一君はどうだったかしら？
Oh, she looks so much less wicked in this.
お祭りは楽しめた？
She talks wicked, but from the way she spoke, it seemed like she was a resident of Hinamizawa. I really should try harder to remember people's faces here. What was her name?
その楽しかった
Is
です。
McDonald's your weakness? Funny story. Well, generally we don't hate McDonald's. It's not good for you, so we try to avoid it when we can. But when we slip, we've occasionally gone there.
The favorite is the $3 McDouble combo because it's only $3. It gives you a McDouble and a small fry. It's pretty good value.
And their ice cream is okay. I would say, well, recently Ari-chan got food poisoning from what she believes is McDonald's orange juice.
It was in a bottle. It was bottled orange juice. God knows how long it's been there because everyone else that I was with had the same thing except for the orange juice, which was with me, and I ended up in the hospital in Israel. That was fun.
Yeah, she was in Israel when that happened, which sucks. My face must have given away how desperately I was trying to remember her name, because she gave a light-hearted chuckle.
ケイチ君はまだ引っ越してきて日が浅いんだそうだね。
In some ways, it could have been a blessing in disguise, because you didn't wind up having to pay for it.
他の子たちと
Well, it would've
と
been
ても
nice,
親しげだったから、
Yes,
とて
no,
も
it
そう
was.
は
I
思
got
え
to
なかったよ。
experience Israeli healthcare at its finest, and it was great.
Yes. If that's how it looked, it was probably all thanks to Reina and Mion, because you can get food poisoning anywhere, really.
It just sucked that I happened to be at the one place that was basically a rural tent with a 2-inch pad on the floor that I had to sleep on after that night at the hospital. So that was fun.
どうなんでしょうね。
What was Israel like, out of curiosity?
Was Israel? Oh man, it was
Ch.1
beautiful. Here's the crazy part. Mount Meron is this big tall mountain in North Israel, and they've never had snow, except for when we were there. So it was snowing while we were on this mountain. And our poor tour guide, he was so sad because he wanted to show us what Lebanon looked like from the other side. And he's like, it's all white. You can't see anything. I'm sorry, guys. We're like, it's fine. That's good. But yeah, it was beautiful. We were safe as hell. I feel like actually we were safer there than I am in my own country. But we went to the Dead Sea. We saw Jerusalem.
ただその
And
なんていうの
met some
か
really cool artists in Svat, which is this really cool city, basically in the clouds. It's kind of like the air nomads temple almost. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it was life changing and awesome. If you know anybody who like, you know, is like from a Jewish family or like has even like Jewish grandparents,
それを知ることで君が納
and
得
you're
する
under
な
the
ら
age of 32,
僕の
you
知って
can
いる
still
範
go
囲
to
で
Israel for
何でも
free.
教えるよ
It's pretty awesome. So if you look up, it's Birthright Taglit, I think is the name of the place. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt.
No, you're good.
It's just we're getting to an interesting section.
Yeah. Go for it.
He's gonna ask him. He's like, yeah, I'll tell you everything you want to know about Hinamizawa and stuff. So even when there was so much I wanted to
じ
ask,
ゃあダム工事について聞かせてください。ひなみ沢が水没するとかいう大事件だったんですよね。
ダムについては多分ここの人に聞いた方が詳しいと思うけどな
next Taku does not sound like he came from Israel. That's interesting.
ま僕が知っている範囲
Yeah,
で
it
いいんだ
depends. A lot of Israelis, if they grew up, you know, speaking English from a very young age, there's not much of an accent at all. There were like some of the members of the Israeli army who were with us who didn't sound like they, you know, had an Israeli accent much at all because they were studying in America.
Tomitake-san's eyes entered an unfocused gaze as he searched through his memory. Then he spoke.
Kenny ran away.
ダムの計画が決まったのは 7,8 年くらい前なんだ黒部に次ぐ巨大な計画だったと聞いてるね
Super serious.
There were three major issues in Japan at the time: improving inter-island transportation infrastructure, meeting the higher demand for electricity, and flood control. There was a boom of dam building due to the massive economic stimulus they provided on top of generating electricity and flood control. Hinamizawa had the right conditions to support dam construction, so it was singled out.
ダムの完成に伴って生まれるダム湖はかなりの面積になったらしいねこのひなみ沢からずーっと上流の矢郷地あたりまでが全部沈むことになったらしい
しかしなんだって人が住んでるひなみ沢にわざわざダムを作るんですかもっと他の人が住んでないところに作ればいいのに
よくは知らないんだがダムを作るのに適した地形ってのがあったって聞いてるね
Of course, there were protests here in Hinamizawa. Rika-chan had said that they had fought. From that choice of words, I had to guess that things had turned violent.
裁判にもなったし議会でも取り上げられたんだ東京の新聞にも載ったよ
Mion had told me all about that as well. I'm sure every resident of Hinamizawa had united to fight together. The feeling of solidarity found here, which could not be expressed properly with mere words, was likely brought about by that battle.
でいろいろな不祥事や汚職が発覚してねややこしいことになっているうちに工事中止が決まったんだそうだよ
It's not helping.
If I wanted to know, now is my only chance to ask. It was certainly a bizarre incident that boys my age would be curious about. I felt a little shame from the act I was petty enough to have my curiosity piqued by Rena and Mion's refusal to talk about the event. But I figured I might as well ask since I had the chance, just so I would stop thinking about it so much.
バラバラ殺人ってありましたよね
Barabara Sasujin. Interesting.
偶然
That's
その時期
literally
に
just
ひなみ沢
like
にいてね。
bits and pieces.
だからよく覚えてるよ。
Is dismemberment. That's very interesting.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Gumi. Thank you very much. I would, yeah, I love it when you share my stuff to people.
Yeah.
I love that very, very much. Especially if you're not, you know, like a contributor to the channel's like finances, because the growth is probably, if you get a chain reaction of people watching, that's probably even better in some cases than donations. It depends.
Everything helps.
Tomitake-san's answer was nonchalant in contrast to my hesitantly forced out question. Yep, definitely give the likes and subscribes and shares. And comments. Comments always help too, because it counts as engagement.
Yee. We like engagement.
ちょうど4年前の今頃だったかな。あれも確か渡橋
Rumble?
の日だったね。
Not by itself.
Umba.
I know school rumble. Debate on whether to continue construction on the dam was in disarray. Scandal after scandal rocked the project near the end. The incident that was the final nail in the coffin for the dam project. A fight at the dam construction site ended in the victim being murdered.
Goddamn.
Fearing
construction site.
prosecution, the 6 assailants divided the remains into 6 pieces and hid each one. 5 of the 6 criminals turned themselves in out of guilt, but one was still on the run. The right arm he'd hidden had yet to be found. The major details lined up with what was in the tabloid I'd read earlier. It certainly was a tragic incident, but it wasn't so terrible that Rena and Mion needed to hide it from me. I guess they didn't want someone who had just moved here to have a negative impression of Hinamizawa. I felt grateful for having friends who'd worried so much about me, as well as shame for being still so interested in it.
当時はダムのトラブルの
It's
末
like,
期だった
welcome
か
to
らね。
Bossing Say. Everything's fine here.
お社様のたたりだって言ってずいぶん騒がれたんだよ。
Oyashiro-sama's curse. Yes, yes, yes. Oyashiro-sama was the name of the god at the shrine that held the festival today, if I recalled correctly. I see. Their guardian deity rained divine punishment down on the evil dam construction for trying to flood Hinamizawa.
若い人たちはそうは思わなかったみたいだけれど、お年寄りたちはお社様のたたりだと疑わなかったみたいね。
The woman with Tomitake-san chuckled mischievously. Tomitake-san began laughing with her. It was so infectious, I ended up laughing as well.
今ではどうかしらね。結構いるんじゃないかしら。若い人にも。
いるって何がですか？
信じてる人だよ。
Yeah, we love
お
Avatar.
社様のたた
It
り。
was one of the first times I actually wanted to watch an entire American-made television show. In its entirety.
The woman's lips were still curled into a smile, but her expression turned stern. And I know this is going to sound like sacrilege to some, but I prefer Korra.
その後ね。毎年起こるんだ
Like,
よ。
it's ridiculous how there's this weird hatred for them. Like, they're in competition
決
with
まっ
each
て
other.
今頃にね。
It's so weird. People writing, like, huge hate videos on
何
Korra.
が？
Tomitake-san paused for seconds, as if to build up some suspense. Then he whispered to me as if someone might have been listening.
毎年綿流しの日になるとね。
Oh boy.
誰かが死ぬ。
Somebody
Dies.
dies.
バラバラ殺人の翌年の綿流しの日。
Ever since that
南沢の
dismemberment.
住人でありながら
This is
ダムの
dismemberment.
誘致派だった男が。
Oh, this is a year after. A
崖下
man
の濁流
who
に
supported the dam fell off a
死亡した
cliff.
Oh.
奥さんに至っては死体も上がってない。
ひなみ沢の人間でありながらダムに賛成していた男ですからね。
She's like the
事
epitome
故
of
当時
Ara Ara.
お年寄りたちは
Oh, yeah, she's
お社
totally
様の
ara-ara.
たたりだとささやき合ったものよ。
The woman chuckled mischievously again.
さらに翌年。
She's almost more of like a hoo-hoo-hoo type.
Yeah.
今度は神社の神主が原因不明で急死した。奥さんはその晩のうちに沼に受水自殺した。
No matter what.
神社の神主って今日のこの神社の神主ですか？
The woman
村
nodded.
人たちはお社様のお怒りを鎮めきれなかったんだって噂したわね。
さらに翌年、これもまた綿流しの晩。 今度は近所の主婦が撲殺体で発見された。
Housewife? Up until now, all these mysterious deaths were people involved with the dam or who had connections with Oyashiro-sama. With that in mind, could the housewife have been involved in some way too?
その通りよ。
The woman stated slyly. No, it was more menacingly.
被害者の一家はね、その2年前に転落死したダム誘致派の男の弟一家に当たるのよ。
弟本人はまだ生きてるらしいね。でもやはりかなり気にしてね。近隣の町に引っ越してったらしいよ。
For a while, I stood there with my mouth agape. Oh wait, can I? Yes. Right, yes.
It's all in the family.
Mm-hmm. Well, the brother is important.
Yeah.
The battle over the dam construction, with Hinamizawa's future at stake, and the murder at the center of it all. That was all I knew, and that's all I wanted to ask about. But that wasn't what there was to the story. Homicide, body disposal, accidental deaths, terminal illness, suicide, fatal beatings. I'm a pretty level-headed person. I don't really want to believe in curses, but the freakish deaths happened every year, on the day of the Wataganashi. And all of them were related to the dam construction?
I do believe in spooks. I do believe.
It was easy to dismiss each of them as coincidences by themselves, but when you put them together, dismissing all of them as coincidence would then defy logic. I don't believe in curses, but every single year on the day of the Wataganashi, somebody or something makes it happen without fail. The woman chuckled again, as if she picked up on what I was thinking. It felt like she was saying, maybe there was. Maybe we frightened him. Stuff like that. I felt embarrassed at being so read so easily. I pressed Tomitake-san to continue, a bit of impatience and irritation in my voice.
で、その翌年の綿流しの番組もまた今度は誰です？
Gotta pee.
さてね。
If Rick Taylor from Splatterhouse was a servant, what class would he be? Maybe Berserker. It seems like a Berserker to me. I wonder, who do you think, Kate? Oh, wait, what? The hell? The way he said it didn't agree with me. The sarcastic tone ticked me off.
はぐらかさないでくださいよ。俺は結構真剣に。
Objection, Your Honor. Void the question.
落ち着いて。
I realized that when she tried to calm me down that I had been panicking.
別にはぐらかしたつもりはないんだよ、ケイイチ君。つまり、その翌年の綿流しってのは、つまり。
今日よ。
When Tomitake-san hesitated to say it, she finished for him. I broke into a cold sweat. I really didn't like the direction this was headed.
みんな口にしないけど、今夜また何か起こるんじゃないかって思ってる。
こんなにお祭りで賑わってるのに？
あのね、去年の被害者の主婦は不信心者だったらしくてね。
She was a non-believer.
綿流しのお祭りに参加しなかったらしいの。
今年の綿流しに参加しないと、お社様の怒りに触れるかもしれないって噂。
If Superman would be a foreigner.
Buzzfizz.
Yeah.
ケイイチ君なら聞いてるんじゃないかい？
I never even heard a whisper of that rumor.
じゃあみんなのお祭りの参加はたたりを恐れて？
Jessica D just subscribed. Yay!
そうなんじゃないかと思うね。
Sorry if you already addressed this in other videos, but in Fate, does our sun and other planets have their own lore? Like the moon cell and the Earth's root? Summoning servants? Well, the root is universal. It's not the Earth's root. It's just the root of all existence, including the planets and shit like that. The other planets are... They have their own wills in the same way that the Earth has a will, Gaia and Alaya. and they have the ultimate ones. You'd probably, yeah, the ultimate ones, lesson in Magecraft might be the best one for you. That said, I don't think much of the sun. There are gods that are worshipped, you know, as sun gods, but I don't know if there's, like, literally a specific being that came from the sun. Like there were beings that came from, say, like, Mercury.
今年の綿流しは例年になく参加者が多いよ。
Can we add a G to the root? I don't know what that means.
みんな怖いでしょうね。
I am Groot.
Oh.
お社様のたたり。
Pretty silly.
I couldn't utter a single word. Someone will die tonight. In this modern age, we've made progress in all scientific fields, shedding light on the unknown and misunderstood. Where black and white television has been eradicated and we've sent men to the moon. Even with all of our accomplishments, this can exist in modern society? I've seen One Punch Man. It got worse after its first season.
I'm sad, Panda.
Oh, I know. He's the incarnation of the sun god Ra, but that's a belief. It's like a divine belief.
I believe.
There's a lot of gods that only exist Santa Claus style. Ho, ho, ho.
警察もね、
Nero
過去の
走
事件は
れそりを風のように月見原をパドルパドル
Sorry.
It's not Christmas, but
It's
警備っ
almost
てこと
Christmas
で
in July,
私
right?
服
Oh, I
警
hate
官
that
を
shit.
だいぶ立たせてたみたいだよ。
it finally began to dawn on me why Reina and Mion were reluctant to talk. Man, Christmas in July, that sucked for retail.
Yeah, fuck.
If nothing happened during this Watakanashi, everything would have been over with and I'd be none the wiser. If nothing happened, all would be well. In that case, it would all end up being just crazy talk. I should have just pretended like I knew nothing from the beginning. Then they wouldn't have had to act like nothing happened. And we would have all gotten back to life as usual.
やっぱり刺激が強すぎたかしら。
Santa Claus is a servant. It's just multiple Santas for some reason. They're Santa types. Yeah, St. Nicholas should just be one by now.
There should be a new Christmas event where he's like the Master Santa.
And it's
he
gonna
gets
be a
all the
waifu.
Santas.
It's gonna be a waifu.
Probably.
The woman ran her fingers through her hair as she sighed.
いえそんな全然
It's only May, for fuck's sake. I tried to act strong, but that just served to emphasize how much the information had unsettled me. After seeing how I looked, Tomitake-san appeared to regret saying anything. Letting out a sigh, he then spoke, forcing an awkward, upbeat demeanor.
まさか圭一君、たたりなんて信じてるわけじゃないだろう。
そりゃまあ
What if Reina, Mion, and Riko and Satoko were all turned into Padoru forms?
That would be just appropriate as hell
Then they
for
would
Satoko.
sing, yeah.
すべての事件が原因不明で
And her, like,
犯
crazy
人の
little
手口も謎っていうなら
パドルですわね。
僕もかなり疑っている
パドルですわね。
だけど実際には違う。
パドルピカ
どの事件もちゃんと警察が捜査して真相や犯人を究明してる。
Let's see, Mion would be, let's see.
Hearing him say police makes me feel a lot better. It was perfect for repelling the word curse.
パドルできるんじゃ
例えば一番最初のバラバラ殺人言ったよね。犯人は一人を残して全員逮捕されてる。残った一人だって時間の問題さ。動機だって酒の上での口論からと判明してる。
I'll like your ass, Morgan, or whatever.
Lock your ass, you're lying, Morgan. Oh my god. Skyrim poop.
たたりなんかじゃない。だろ
So funny.
That was true. If it didn't happen on the day of the Watakanashi, then I wouldn't think it was related to the curse at all.
次の誘致派の夫婦の事故死だってそうさ。
They have like lids, I guess, if you're getting cold stone. Are you getting cold stone, and? Okay, well, you know what sandwich I like.
Just a Philly.
No.
Chicken bacon ranch.
Turkey bacon.
Turkey bacon. Okay, I'm on a food run.
She's gonna go grab some food because she wants ice cream.
Because the reason why I'm doing it now is because I don't want to cut the stream short to make everyone go. So Daikun will be here, and then I will go get food, so you can still be here with the stream.
That's fair.
Yeah. It was so good seeing everybody, and thank you. And Daikun's still here. I'm just leaving. Bye.
Oof. Yeah, I'll continue streaming. Oh, my butt hurts. Okay, I just need to readjust a little.
恨みを買う立場だったからね。警察が特に入念に捜査したと思うよ。それで発表は事故。他殺じゃない。
でもまた綿流しの日に起きたんですよ。
考えてもみなよ、圭一君。ひなみ沢に敵が多かった彼が地元のお祭りにおちおち参加できると思うかい？彼にとっては綿流しの時期は特にひなみ沢に居づらい時期に違いないよ。だからわざわざこの時期に旅行をし、意図的にひなみ沢を離れようとしたんじゃないかな。
Wasn't a very clear explanation, but I sort of understood what Tomitake-san was getting at. So I pressed on earnestly, asking more questions so that I could convince myself.
じゃあ富武さん、その次に死んだ神主さんはどうです？原因不明の奇病だって。
On your birthday? Well, you didn't even ask me. What do they have?
They had everything.
Can you show me? I wanna know. Can you show me? Well, I figured you'd already have it up
I
there.
don't.
Give me a moment. Ani-chan? Cotton candy. Yeah, the smallest thing they got. Sorry.
それも
Thank you.
またしても綿流しの日に。
Uh-oh, my avatar's just like mangled.
神主さんはもっと説明がつきやすいよ。綿流しのお祭りは神主さんにとっては年に一度の大行事。あるいはもともと持病持ちだったのかもしれない。
でも奇病ですよ。でもこの医学の進歩した時代に原因不明なんて。
尾ひれだよ。噂が噂を呼んだだけさ。2年立て続けに事件が起これば誰だって過敏になるよ。急死は確かに不自然だったかもしれないけど、こういう死に方をすると必ず警察が検視をする。
Could you imagine if Muzan and the Upper Moons looked themselves up on the internet? I don't know what that is. Daikun, what servant class would you give Griffith? Femto from Berserk? Whatever one is the most insulting, because I don't like Griffith. He fucked up. That was horrible. He's bad, dude. Whatever you consider the most insulting. Would you make Stickman videos of fake characters? I don't really know what a Stickman video looks like. Not the way it's being described.
で、事件性は発見されなかったんだろう。本当に偶然の病死なんだよ。
確か神主の奥さんが自殺してますよね。 じゃあこれは？
すでに説明した通りさ。3年目の事件に村人たちは動揺していた。信心深い人たちはすぐにたたりだと決めてかかったのさ。もちろん神主の奥さんもね。自殺の際に死んでお社様の怒りをお鎮めするみたいな遺書が見つかったらしいし。
じゃあ次の主婦の事件はまたしても綿流しの日に。
この事件は犯人も逮捕されて解決してるよ。一種の異常者でひなみ沢のたたり騒ぎを面白がって再現したと自供してる。
じゃあ次の年の事件は？
Oh yeah, this year is the next year. Tomitake-san gave a hearty laugh.
もう何も起こらないよ。
That umbrella guy got doxxed IRL by an Amber Heard fan. That umbrella guy, I remember that. Wasn't he like kind of involved with some of the Kick Vic, Nick Rekieta stuff? He covered a bit of that.
今度こそね。お社様のたたりなんてもともとない。一連の偶然をあると信じている人たちがそうだと吹聴しているだけさ。
My internal computer finally got itself back on track. I felt a bit embarrassed by how childish I'd become after losing control and panicking.
僕は圭一君がひなみ沢をとても好きだと思ってることをよく知ってるよ。仮にお社様のたたりが実在したとしても、そんな圭一君にたたりがある。
I'm excited for the new Fire Emblem game too. What is it, Three Hopes? Because I want to play as Byleth. I loved Fire Emblem Warriors. That game was awesome. So much. But I don't think... I feel like I like the characters from Warriors more. Between people like Camilla, Lucina, Tharja, stuff like that. What is her name? Olivia? Was she the dancer girl? I like those characters probably more than the vast majority of the ones in Three Houses. Minus Byleth. So, I'll still play it, but I'm not as excited. Have I ever played Skyrim? No, and I have no intention of doing it. Everyone in Skyrim looks so ugly. I felt very relieved. I should probably just forget everything I heard tonight. I'll greet Rena and Mion tomorrow with the same smile as always. Also, I think the weird thing they chant to send like a shockwave is kind of dumb sounding. That's just me. Don't let me ruin your fun. They probably also like tonight to end without incident, so they can continue on tomorrow without having worried me. Perhaps seeing my change in attitude, the woman who had been listening in stretched as she got up from the rock she was sitting on.
さてと、そろそろ私は戻らないとね。
おっと、僕も少々長くおしゃべりしすぎたかな。
They killed off your favorite character. Uh-oh. Well, if that's spoilers, don't tell me, because I'll watch new seasons. Any chance you do a lore video on Fire Emblem? I would do it if they made the 3DS games and all those portable games accessible on a home console. Like, so I could play it on my damn TV. That I would do. I want to play them first. I looked at my watch. It seemed we'd talked for a better part of an hour.
圭一君もお友達と一緒に来たんでしょ？みんなを探したら？
そうだった。みんな俺のことを探してるかもしれない。
女の子に探させるなんてなかなかの罪人だね。
じゃあね、おやすみなさい、圭一君。二郎さんもね、また後ほど。
Well, she seems pleasant. Ha ha ha. Tomitake-san seems to be quite the scoundrel himself. So his name is Jito. After dusting off her backside, she disappeared into the crowd of people still busy cleaning up the shrine grounds. In her place, Reina came running over. I could see all the others behind her. Speak of the devil.
ケイちゃん、すっかり話し込んじゃっててさ。
I'd completely forgotten about them while caught up in my own conversation, so we're even.
あら、富武さんもご一緒でございましたの。ちょうどよかったですわ。 今日の射的の結果発表がありますです。
I still imagine like the Mikon style voice for Koyanskaya as well, not just your generic ara kind of thing, because there's still that foxy spunkiness to her based on the way she looks and acts. She's less sultry and more squeaky, as it were.
結局ビリは僕なのかな。
In the end, after my dramatic victory, Rika-chan was the last challenger, but there weren't many targets left. The ones remaining were all tiny and difficult to hit. She did take her time and aim, but all 3 shots completely missed. She was to end up sharing the loser's crown with Tomitake-san. However, she did her little mewing cry in front of the owner, and he turned into mush instantly. She was given a pack of gum as a consolation prize. Her methods were a bit audacious, but she did avoid being the loser rather magnificently.
思うにリカちゃんって結構タヌキだろ。
I'm not complaining about having too much ara-ara. I'm just saying that Koyanskaya's personality isn't quite just ara-ara. And there's 2 different kinds of ara-ara. There's the airhead ara-ara, and there's like the sultry, smexy ara-ara, if you know what I mean. So there's like both of those.
圭一の言ってる意味がわかりませんです。
なわけでビリは富武さんに決まり。
Everyone cheered and applauded. Tomitake-san smiled wryly, slightly bewildered.
じゃあ富武さん、覚悟はいいかな？罰ゲーム。
え？あ、忘れてた。
You're too naive, Tomitake-san. This is why you've got to avoid losing in our club. Mion pulled a felt tip marker from her pocket. Oh, it's that.
武士の情けだ。せめて水星にしてやれ。優勢は辛い。
優勢じゃないとダメだよ。お洗濯したら落ちちゃうじゃない。
Whereas, what's her name, damn it? Azusa from Idolmaster, she's kind of the more airheaded ara-ara versus the ara-ara. Yes, I'm enough of an ara-ara connoisseur. It's just, it's become a defined trope, that's why.
なんだいお手柔らかに頼むよ。
All of us pinned his arms behind his back, and Mion approached him with one marker in hand. But she didn't write on Tomitake-san's face. She wrote on the shirt he was wearing. You ruined his shirt! You'd better have your big break this year, Mion. Reina looked up at the marker next, or took up the marker. Show me your photos next time, okay? It was a little heartwarming, and I just had to laugh.
これじゃあ罰ゲームってより寄せ書きじゃないか。
私は甘くはありませんのよ。
Has anyone heard of Beast 6's voice? Creeped out from her evil tone. Beast 6 being, that's the grown Nero one, right? Yeah.
ちゃんと罰ゲームでいきますわ。
Do I like chicken nuggets? I like chicken strips more than chicken nuggets. Fuck your chicken strips? Gotcha. Haha, dead last, Satoko. Try harder next time, Rika.
圭一さんもどうぞでございます。
I love how Nero's voice is the Japanese voice for Sakura and Cardcaptor Sakura. It's so cute. I couldn't decide what to write, but based on what kind of penalty this was probably the most appropriate. Come back and play again, Keiichi. Tomitake-san was silent the entire time. What a good sport. At first he was quite bewildered, and now he had a different look on his face.
これを着たまま帰郷するのも罰ゲームのうちに入るのかな。
もちろん。ちゃんと着たまま家に帰ってね。
次に来る時にも着てきてくれるといいな。
Do I like KFC chicken? It's not my favorite chicken. I like Popeyes more when they feel like actually having it in stock. KFC's, it's alright. It's definitely not my favorite chicken. Embarrassment mixed with a wealth of other emotions made him turn a bright red. Drumsticks are fantastic. Like a giant-ass turkey leg. Everyone cheered and applauded. It was the finest parting gift possible for a buddy heading out for tonight. I saw the woman who was with Tomitake-san standing near the festival grounds. It seemed Tomitake-san noticed her too, and it was time to leave. Popeyes is the best children. You eat children? Ah! Ah! Seems like your guest is waiting. Oh wait, whoops, she already said that. Why am I hood for liking Popeyes? We all shouted stuff at Tomitake-san. Each time we did, he looked back and waved his hand. Eventually, he faded into the darkness of the night, out of sight. It was quite the casual farewell. This wasn't the first time any of us had seen someone off. They had done the same thing many times before. Popcorn chicken? I love me some popcorn chicken. Rika-chan had to stay behind with the other committee members, since they were having a meeting. Satoko was tagging along with her. I headed back home with the usual suspects. The walk back was quite lively, with talk of the day's war stories. Should have done this, should have done that kind of stuff. Rena and I parted ways with Mion. Then it was just the two of us. Then we got to my house and I parted ways with Rena as well. Aw. What a cutie. What a cutie. Merrily spinning her arms around at high speed, Rena dashed off. She was fine. In that mode, not even an adult could stand against her. Mina's cheerful presence disappeared, and it finally became quiet again. The curse that not a soul mentioned, even under their breath. The more I learned about it tonight, the more unsettling it became. Have I tried a matcha Kit Kat? Yes, I have. They're pretty good. It didn't show on any of their faces, but they were all probably quite concerned as well. But if nothing happens tonight, then it all ends up being just crazy talk. Nothing will happen. Nothing bad. Nothing at all. Which one is Tio? What monster is she? It was my mom.
結局お父さんが起きなかったからね。行きそびれちゃったわ。残念。
Mom stuck her tongue out with a bit of an embarrassed look on her face. The hood love Popeyes. I mean, it's good. It's good. Tips unlocked. Yeah, I'm not going to read the tips right now. We can come back and read the tips later. But, yeah. You going to get going soon? Oh, you're going to pick them up. Little techie baby. The 3-meter ogre one? Shit, I don't know if I know that one. You like Kenobi? I've heard mixed things. Ari-chan likes it. She liked Boba Fett also, and I've heard people complaining about that. You didn't like the beginning of Boba?
No, I liked it when Mandalorian came back.
Okay.
ミオンこそお疲れさんな。昨日は楽しかったぜ。
そうそう。ケイチくん、本当にありがとね。クマさん。
気に入ってもらえて嬉しいぜ。裁縫針とか刺したりするのに使うなよ。
しないよ、そんなこと。
Yeah, I said I liked popcorn chicken. I doodly doodly do. Still chatting happily, we entered the classroom, but the moment I stepped into the room, a splashing sound and a nasty sensation. It was a bucket filled to the brim with water, and unfortunately my foot stepped right into it.
あら、朝から雑巾がけとは熱心でございますわね。
Clomp, clomp, clomp. Flip. Oh, did you fling it at her?
ケイチさんがデコピンした。
Oh no, you flicked her forehead, I see.
今度はもっと凶悪な罠を仕掛けなさいですよ。
What's popcorn chicken? It's just fried chicken in little bite-sized pizzas. Seeing that, Rena began to swoon as Mion looked on in disbelief. Everything was the same as always. Everybody was there and nothing felt out of place. The uncertainties I'd had in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished.
どうしたの、ケイチくん。ひょっとして寝不足かな。
バッチリ爆睡したよ。なんなら授業中にも実演するぜ。
ダメだよ、そんなの。
Yeah, nobody's died yet. It's very long. I bet this is longer than most novels. Like,
皆さん、
published
おはよう
books.
ございます。
Like, I don't want to know how
昨日は
dummy
お
thick
祭りでしたね。
Higurashi would be if it were printed.
最後まで後片付けに参加した人たちは本当にお疲れ様でした。
Really? Fried chicken is only or popcorn chicken's only American? Weird. Seems like something that anybody could do. Mukbang videos are... Ugh. We were all slackers, so none of us actually helped clean up. Actually, I had a feeling that the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause a ruckus.
さて、この時期にはお祭りの取材で遠くから雑誌なんかの取材の方が見えたりします。
Doki Doki Literature Club. I have not played it personally myself, but that's because I've seen it all through plays already. I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to tune it out, but then I noticed the different tone in her voice and started paying attention.
皆さんが取材を受けることがあるかもしれませんが、曖昧なことやいい加減なことは言わないように。いいですね。
In unison, everyone replied, "Yes, ma'am." What she'd said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the 5th year. There were probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in, hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying, don't spout stupid shit you think is funny. And now, I was one of the ones who needed to keep their mouths shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself. I'm not going to show a video of me eating food. I was summoned to club activities after school. Since everybody was still pretty tired from yesterday, we just spent the day relaxing Yeah, that wasn't happening. Not another game. No. I'm gonna speedrun this one.
海外ものの面白そうだな。
説明書も英語です。ルールはそう難しくはありませんのよ。負けないからね。僕はこのゲーム苦手じゃないですよ。
Okay, I'm gonna say something. Nobody has died that we know of yet. It seemed that Rena didn't handle this kind of game very well.
ルールはね、事件の犯人と凶器、 あと犯行現場の3つを
Figures, right? There are the 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons, and locations. Clue. We're playing Clue. I could see that the names Mion and Rika were written on the suspect cards. Oh, a card with my name on it as well.
のカードにもいろいろ種類があるな。斧やらナイフやら毒物やら。犯行現場のカードも渋いぞ。リビングやら書斎やら中庭やら。
つまりね、これらのカードが1枚、それが正解のカードで、残ったカードはシャッフルしてみんなで互いに手持ちのカードを質問し合って、抜かれた正解のカードが何かを探るわけ。
Ah, I see. So the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators.
それで答えが分かったら挙手。ゲームを終了して答えが正しいかを確認。
I don't know how you'd make it a cooking battle. It would be just more like turning the anime into real life, kind of. That I definitely feel is most appropriate.
正解してもしなくてもゲーム終了だから、カードは集めて仕切り直しってわけ。
やってみればわかるでございますわ。結構頭を使うでございますわよ。メモを取りながらじゃないと混乱しますです。
あとはやって覚えるさ。今回の罰ゲームは何だ？
Everyone directed their attention to Mion.
そうだね。じゃあ昨日の疲れも多少あるだろうから、みんなからお使いを頼まれて、それを買いに走るってわけ。
つまりジュースとかお菓子とかを買いに行かされるんだね。
Fate Requiem board game event. I know you talked about it in a previous stream. No, I don't think so. The story was a little too weird. I think it would be better to just do a lore at some point of like Arisutsumi and Voyager. I feel like the penalty today is pretty simple. Oops. I wonder, is it really?
やはりケイチさんもそう思いますですの？
ああ、何を買いに行かされるかわからない。
You don't know what you'll have to go buy. Akiba Ranger? Make fun of our Power Rangers? Have them speak English? That's funny. Yes, I too am farming the Las Vegas event, but I had to wait until, 10 o'clock tonight before they unlock the new section. I'm not gonna farm for like realsies until they drop in the millionaire tier quests. That's what I'm saving up all my fever cards for. I liked the event, it's just a lot of the story had nothing to do with Eris and such, so it was just like a lot of filler, kind of. Anyway, we were talking about... Right, what have you guys done with your servant coins? Do you plan to level up your servants past 100? Do you plan to buy the support skills? It seems like, regardless of which one you choose, it's a pain in the ass, and it's going to take a lot of time and effort. Though I went thinking that it was more efficient to raise the level cap until I realized just how many freaking embers it gobbled up. Like, I had a huge collection of embers, and I couldn't even get my character up one level. One level. So skills is something that you can actually do more immediately. But if you don't up their levels, you're gonna run out of coins, and for all them 5-star servants, you're never gonna get more of them, really. Nobody can level up to 120. You can, but it's gonna take, like, months of grinding, and it's horrible. Servant coins on the new mechanic in Fate Grand Order. Or a new mechanic that you can do to more or less give people who are already at the top tier something more agonizing to do. When am I streaming till? I don't know. It's gonna be within the hour that I'm gonna wrap up streaming, for sure. Have I ever tried Pop-Tarts? Yes. I like them enough. They're okay. You can buy 2 grails per month. I don't need that many grails, though, honestly. Though that would be not. Yeah, I still have too many grails. I've had way too many grails. Oh, doesn't give the game coins enough past level 118, but you can keep farming coins at least for your support servants, right? Or not your support servants, your like friend point servants. Anyway, the cards were lightly shuffled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon, and the scene of the murder have been taken out, so that means all the cards I have in my hand are innocent cards.
じゃあ1番は部長の私から行くよ。ミオン、ナイフ、書斎。
You pick one suspect, weapon, and murder scene and ask for the other players. If you have any of those cards, then you must say, I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have.
あ、俺持ってるぜ。
レナもあるよ。僕も持ってますです。あら、完全な同志ですわね。
Three people answered when she asked if they had Mion Knife and Study. So that means Mion Knife and Study are all in the clear. Gotta jot that down.
じゃあレナはね、レナ、オノ、ラウンジだよ。
Only two people said they had one. It means out of Rena and Axe and Lounge, one of them is correct and one part is part of the crime. No, wait, even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. It's possible that either Satoko or Rika has two of the cards.
じゃあ次はケイちゃんだね。どうぞ。
Have you tried a strawberry Kit Kat? Yes. And popcorn chicken is in Canada. Ah, yes.
待ってくれよ。まだ整理中。
The game has me thinking more than I thought. Oh man, this really feels like it's going to be tough.
よっしゃ。
They give us a ton of time for this Las Vegas event.
何？も
And the gap between like not the paywall sections, but the ones where they make you wait, are raising. Here I am spinning around in circles and Mion just raises her hand.
犯人はリカちゃん。凶器は毒物で、犯行現場は医務室。どう？
Mion drew the cards from the box and we checked to see if her deduction was right.
正解だね。
あと一手だったですのに。毒物かピストルかわからなかったでございます。ピストルなんか使わないです。
I'd never use a
毒
pistol.
物でじわりじわりがいいのです。
That's vicious. Rika-chan had said such a hugely terrifying thing with such a sweet little face. Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Rena and I were left out in the cold, though.
ケイチ君はどうだったかな。レナは全然。
安心しろ。俺もさっぱりだ。
二人とも何自信ないこと言ってんだか。二人仲良くビリになっちゃうよ。
That's even worse. Going off buying something together as a couple. What if we ended up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Manual? Woo!
ケイチはこのゲーム苦手そうな顔してます
I have a
です。
funny question for you. What do you think the best swimsuit servants are for these categories? Best, funny, and memed? Best is Squirtoria for me. Funny. Oh god, what's the funniest?
な、全然そんなことはないぞ。
Musashi's the funniest. Just her crazy attitude. Musashi Miyamoto! And the most memed?
次でシャーロック前原の実力を見せてやる。
I don't know, man. Which one's the most meme-worthy versus which one is actually the most memed? Probably Mordred. I think Mordred gets memed a lot.
徹底的に叩きのめして差し上げますわ。
After that, I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game, but I was still always a step or two behind. I saw that Mion was somehow gleaning information from how the others were asking their questions. That level of experience was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback was if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept deduction and switched over to the thought process needed to win. The important thing isn't to find out the criminal, it's to win at the game. Huh! Eureka!
あ、ごめん。ちょっとトイレ行ってくるな。
ゆっくりブリブリしておいで。
Jesus! Don't say that. That's disgusting.
みーちゃん、それ下品。
I had them hold off the game and headed down the hall. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom was by our body heat. On the school grounds, some of our classmates were still playing around. After spending some time cooling my head, Rena had made her way over towards me.
ケイチ君、ひょっとしてレナのこと呼んだ？
ああ、読んだ。
I'm glad it worked
時
out.
間の無駄なので担当直入に行く。レナ、お前の今日のゲームの過去の戦績は？
She was taken aback. After a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth.
全敗だよ。
Is that FGO game you played, was it a gacha game? What do you mean? Fate Grand Order is a gacha, yes.
どうしてそんなこと聞くんだろう。
Who was your first FGO servant other than Mashu? I tried to make it Artoria, so that's what it wound up being. I re-rolled until we got her. Dai-chan and I both did, and then whoever got Artoria first would give the account to me and whatnot, because... Yeah, and I told her I'd help her get whatever servant she wanted to start with. I think she went with Emiya. I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing.
このままでいくと、俺もそうなる。今日のゲームは大逆転の秘策が思い。
じゃあ今日の罰。
おいおい、早くも負けを受け入れる。勝ちに行こうぜ。俺たちで。
でもどうやって？
I brought my lips up to Rena's ear. Whisper, 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 whisper.
そんなのありなのかな？
It's free real estate.
忘れたのかレナ。快速第2条だぞ。勝つために全ての努力をしよう。
頑張るよ。
Our plan of attack was quite a rudimentary one. At the beginning of the game, everyone would be focused on their own hand for a while, taking notes and whatnot. Since our seats were right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. If we did it under the desk, then nobody would know. We'd begin the game with twice as much information as everyone else. Having this much information would mean we'd need to investigate less.
この作戦なら他の連中よりも確実なリードを持って開始できる。
これなら今度こそ勝てそうだよ。
Ari-chan is... She went off to go get some food, but I will tell her Chaos Mashu 64. Or Chaos Smash 64. Yeah, no. Chaos Smash. That's what it was meant. Prototype Mordred. Male or still gender bent? I don't know. Probably male. Do you believe in 3-star tier supremacy? No. I believe in the wife you like supremacy, which of course all my favorites happen to be 5 stars. Except for Ushi. Ushi and Shiki are the two ones that I think are totally worthy of being 5-star, as far as my enjoyment of them. If I was the shady businessman, then Rena was the corrupt senator. Pleasure doing business with you. Oh
じゃあ
god.
早速戻ろうよ。二人で
おいおい、二人で一緒に戻っちゃ意味ないだろう。いかにも打ち合わせしてきました
What the?
って感じだぞ。
Child abduction, Amber learned. That is horrible. Where is this?
NABANA.
You don't have to read that. Sorry. How did you re-roll an FGO? You would just uninstall the app and reinstall it. And play through the beginning section until they let you summon again.
レナは先に戻れ。俺は洗面所で顔でも洗って。
わかったね。
Rena turned around and headed back to the classroom. I guess she should wait a bit longer before going back. Amber alerts are something that I guess the police send out to people's cell phones, at least in the States or in Colorado. And it usually lists the, like if there's a child abduction being reported, it'll say like what vehicle, when they were last spotted, what type of person you're looking for. Is there a fistin supremacy? I think I need you to elaborate. Well, they figured out sooner or later, because both Rena and I would start winning over and over again. Both Rena and I will have earned enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mion realized what was happening. Excellent. Not bad at all.
前原くん、ちょっといいですか?
Huh, it's the teacher. Man, things were just getting
何
good.
ですか？今ちょっと大事な。
前原くんにお客さんがいらしてますよ。
No, it was totally possible to do with 5 stars, assuming there's a banner available for them.
昇降口へ行ってください。
お客さん？俺別にお店なんか開いてないし。
待たせていますよ。早く行ってきなさい。
Right before my big match was pretty bad timing to have a visitor, but the very fact that someone was here to see me was strange enough to pique my interests. I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. The entryway was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows. And here he is. Waiting here, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his tie sloppily loosened and his jacket tucked underneath his arm.
前原さんですか？前原圭一さん。
There was no question that he wasn't a resident of Hinamizawa. That it was without a doubt the first time he had ever met me. Ever since I met Tomitake-san, it seemed I was fated to meet middle-aged men.
そうですよ。
Delete the cache? Oh, I don't know. It's been years since I had to re-roll, so... Good to know, but it's not going to help me now.
どちら様ですか？
私の車エアコンが効いてますから、そっちでお話ししましょう。ここ暑くありません？
Don't go with strangers into their cars, especially if you're a kid. The man, completely ignoring my question, pointed over to his car parked near the gate and began walking. You've got to be kidding me. I had no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know. He was asking me to get into his car with him?
だって悔やしません。どうぞどうぞ。
He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this is about, even while knowing the conversations that start out like this have never led to anything good. The inside of his car was pretty cool. Cars with air conditioners were supposed to be a luxury. Really? My dad didn't have one in his car, at least.
冷えすぎだったら言ってくださいよ。
Do you dominate everyone through fisting males and females to assert your will? No. I personally do not do that.
私ガンガンに冷やしちゃうたちですから。
で、俺に何の用ですか？
Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark in the same way he did to me and start my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took a picture that was stuck between the pages. On it was the face of a pretty goofy-looking guy.
男性のことでご存知のことがあったら教えてください。
Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize who he was from this expressionless picture that looked like it was taken at the
シ
DMV.
ャツにマジックで落書きがありましたね。前原さんをはじめクラスメート何人かの署名入りでした。
え？これ、富武さん？
There was no hint of his usual unreliable and easygoing personality in this photo. It was an expressionless, half-asleep
では
face.
こちらの女性はわかりますか？
Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was.
名前は知りませんけど、昨べ富武さんと一緒にいた女の人です。
I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamizawa.
この二人に最後に会ったのはいつですか？
渡流しのお祭りの晩、一緒に話をしました。二人とも仲良さそうでしたよ。
何か気になったこととかありませんか？何でも結構です。話してください。
Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was by now.
富武さんたちに何かあったんですか？
There was no response to my inquiry. Thus, I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no, certain, that this guy was a cop. Then why? Why was he asking me about Tomitake-san? Did something happen to him? More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew more about him than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again.
まだこちらに越されてきたばかりですよね。ご存知ですかな？例のお社様の話は。
My heart began to race. I'm pretty terrible at hiding things. It probably showed on my face.
全く知らない？知らないんなら結構なんですがね。
まあ聞いたことくらいは。
Suzuka's cute, though.
富武さんに教えてもらったんですけど。
どの辺までご存知ですか？
The dismemberment killing, the accidental death, the death by illness followed by suicide, and the lady who was beaten to death. The incidents that always happen the day of the Watakanashi, ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Tomitake-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No, rather, I didn't want to think there was anything more than that.
前原さんはそのタタリとかを信じていますか？率直なところで結構です。
信じてません。
My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe it was on the verge as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away my own doubts. That was the more prominent feeling.
本当に？ならよかったです。やっぱり前原さんは都会育ちですね。
信じてなかったら何なんですか？俺、仲間を待たせてるんで、あまり時間。
Ari-chan rolled. She wanted to go for Summer Carmilla, but wound up getting Musashi. I was like, hey, look at that. She's certainly my fave.
その写真の男性は昨晩お亡くなりになりました。
My mind went blank. Huh? What happened to Tomitake-san?
よりにもよってね。つまり綿流しの当日、前原さんにはどういう意味があるのかわかりますよね。
意味って意味なんか。
Not any for the cause of his death or the reasons behind it. The real problem was that he died on the day of Watakanashi, meaning that this year the curse of Oyashiro-sama had once again. My favorite Space Ishtar form is the kind of cowgirl one.
どうしてかはなんとなくお分かりになりますよね。
I didn't want to understand why.
教えてください。一体何があったんですか？
得意なんですよ。ひなみ沢の方にはちょっと刺激の強い。
It was a roundabout way of saying it, but it caused me to doubt whether or not I wanted to hear the rest. I would only regret forcing myself to learn something I shouldn't, or at the least that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest.
第一発見は祭りの警備を終えて期間中のうちのワゴンでした。時刻は24時5分前。場所は町へ出る道路がちょうど舗装道路に変わるところ、坂を下り切ったあたりにあそこの路肩でした。
There were few street lights on that road. Its pitch black darkness was only broken by the lights of passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomitake-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. Tomitake-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt.
みんなはじめはひき逃げされたものだと思っていました。ですが、意識を確かめるために近づいた警官はすぐに異常に気づきました。喉がね、引き裂かれていたんですよ。
Oh snap.
ナイフとか？
いいえ、爪でした。
Nails? As in fingernails? You mean his neck was clawed through?
検視の結果、それも自分の爪でということが判明しました。
それってどういうことですか？
Basically, it means it wasn't a murder, it was suicide. Tomitake-san, whatever was going through his mind, tore open his own throat. As hard as he could with his own nails. Tore through the skin until he started to bleed, and even then, Tomitake-san didn't stop. He continued clawing, with enough intensity that it would have peeled off his nails, still clawing. Still clawing. Then, as his nails reached those vital arteries that you should never damage, he continued clawing. Splurt. Blood splattered on the ground around him. As he bled, while gasping for breath, he collapsed, his body spasmed, and he died in agony.
薬物を疑いましたが、そういう類のものは検出できませんでした。
But it was a suicide? I've never heard of such a thing. This unnatural way of dying. If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died in these 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and Tomitake-san, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong.
他にもいくつか不審な点があります。体内分泌物、発汗、脱毛等から富武さんはお亡くなりになる直前、極度の興奮状態
Tomitake was crazy! That was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing out their
手
throat.
の傷と付近に落ちていた角材が一致しました。周囲の木やガードレールに叩いた後、周囲に散乱する富武さんの血痕、つまりですね。
Meaning that while tearing at his own throat, he was swinging around a piece of lumber.
体からは本人によらない外傷がいくつか発見されました。富武さんは何者かに暴行を受けた可能性があるということです。外傷の部位から見て複数犯の可能性もあります。
To summarize, Tomitake-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried fighting back. Somewhere in there, he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it. Then, he died.
死亡推定時刻は21時から23時頃のようです。つまり、お祭りで前原さんが富武さんとお話しして、別れてからすぐの出来事なんですよ。
Everyone signed Tomitake-san's shirt, then parted ways. Right after that, oh yeah, he should have been with a woman. What about her?
行方不明です。出勤もしていませんし、昨夜は自宅にも帰っていません。事件に巻き込まれた可能性が極めて高いようです。
Higurashi gacha game account in 2020. What gacha games have you played? I only play Fate Grand Order. It's the only gacha I can stand. For a while, I could only gaze off into space. If I were to play another one, or substitute, it would definitely be Arknights. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. The time I had spent with Tomitake-san was short, but we went to the same festival, spent time together, and took part in the same competition. He was one of us.
我々もあらゆる面から捜査を進めますが、村人たちはお社様のたたりの話になると、とにかく口が重くなる。
That I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tomitake-san, the outsider, telling me.
だから俺なんですか？俺がひなみ沢の人間じゃないから。
I should have been angry that was the reason he wanted to hear. I should have been angry that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened from me.
このままでは、富武二郎さんはお社様のたたりで死んだことになってしまいます。
He turned away from me and gazed far off into the
若
distance.
流しの晩、神聖な儀式の時、無神経にカメラをバシャバシャやってたものだから、お社様の怒りに触れた。
富武さんにお社様の罰が当たるわけがない。
Maybe. Tomitake-san had been killed by humans, and a cowardly group, no less. There's no way I'm going to let this end up being the fault of some curse.
私もそう思います。罰もたたりもあるわけがない。
The tense mood was cut with the man's hearty laugh.
つまり、そういうことですよ。前はたたりを信じていないひなみ沢の方の協力が不可欠なのです。わかりますね。
Neither Tomitake-san nor I believed in curses. But with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tomitake-san's death marking the 5th year. which would mean that Hinamizawa had rejected Tomitake-san. That was something I couldn't allow. Tomitake-san was one of us, damn it. He didn't live in Hinamizawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. There was no way that Tomitake-san could have been cursed by Oyashiro-sama.
でも、俺に協力できることなんか何もないですよ。
What is your opinion on what servants should get a swimsuit version? Can you name 3 for the fact that we are getting pretty close to number 7 in JP? I want Medusa. Classic Medusa in a swimsuit we need, because I think it's ridiculous she hasn't yet. Do you think they should do a rerun of the older summer events? They have in the past. They always do 1 year backward as a rerun. So the one we're playing now is last year's rerun. So... I don't know. It would be nice if there were some way to do it. Yeah, I do think so. For people who like it, or at least to choose which one they want a rerun of.
あの晩のことは何も知らないし。
いえいえ、何か気になるものを見たり聞いたりしたら教えてくださればいいんです。
If I see or hear, he was talking in the future tense.
物でも人でも噂でも。何でも結構です。不確かなもので構いませんから。これ、私の電話番号です。不在でしたら出たものに伝言してくだされば結構です。
I don't know if I can point out 2 that I really think need summer swimsuits at this point. I guess give it to the guys. Let some dudes get some for all the gals or people who are into dudes. He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whenever I wanted to or not, I'd be mired knee-deep in this matter.
富武さんの無念を晴らすためにどうかご協力をお願いしたいのです。
That's right. Why was I hesitating? I needed to find the murderer who killed my friend. I snatched up the piece of paper as a satisfied grin spread across his face.
今日ここでした話はすべて内緒です。絶対に他言無用でお願いします。
わかりました。
お友達にも内緒です。特に園崎さんや古出さんには絶対に知られないようにしてください。
園崎ってミオンのことか？なんでだよ。事件に関係あるっていうのかよ。
With my friends' names brought up so abruptly, and being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry.
捜査上の都合ということなんです。
煙に巻くなよ。ミオンは俺の大切な仲間だぞ。
I snapped at him, but he didn't seem to especially be offended.
でもいいですが、
I'm not going to spoil nothing about this for you guys. Nothing of what's the big major dramatic points. I will not. I'll tease and make little jokes so that people who know might be like, ah, yes, I know what you're talking about. But otherwise, I'm not going to flat out say it. Say it, damn it! No! He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit.
南沢で起こった一連の事件は村ぐるみで引き起こされている可能性があるのです。
そんなことあるわけないじゃないか。
Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that?
証拠はありません。しかも過去の事件はここに解決し、いずれの犯人も村とは直接関係ありませんでしたしね。
じゃあどう考えたらそんな考えに至るんだよ。
毎年綿流しの日に村の旧敵が死ぬ。それだけで十分に疑えると思いませんか。
Only the residents of Hinamizawa felt that the day of the Wataganashi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was somehow related to Hinamizawa?
はじめはダム工事の監督。そして次にダムを誘致した村の旧敵は次々に開始しました。過程はともかく結果はそうなのです。
It couldn't just be shrugged off.
次に死んだ神主やその次に死んだ主婦はどうです？別に村の敵だったわけじゃない。
神主はダム騒動当時リーダーシップを期待されながらも積極的な働きがなかったため、一部の村人から失望、反感を買っていました。
反感があったにしたって 別に村に害を与えたわけじゃないだろう。その次の主婦なんかどうだよ。誘致した男の弟夫婦だったってだけの理由だろう。もっと殺される理由が薄いじゃないか。そして富武さんに至ってはどうだよ。ダム工事とは関係すらないじゃないか。ただよそ者だってだけの理由だぞ。
In the beginning, it fell on those related to the dam project, but as the years went on, the enemy threshold of the victims had become much lower.
それがね、怖いんですよ。徐々に希薄になっていくのが。
何がだよ。
つまり村の敵でなく、よそ者だというだけの理由で犠牲になりつつあるんですよ。
じゃあ、来年の被害者は村のよそ者から選ばれるっていうのか?
Chaos Smash 64, if you haven't caught it yet, we are learning that Tomitake-san died that night. He clawed at his own throat in some weird panic of sorts. And Keiichi is being interviewed by Detective Oishi, who hasn't really announced his name yet, but we'll figure that out soon enough. And he's trying to find out the truth without just going with, oh yeah, Yashiro-sama did it. Which means he's suspecting really anything, including specific villagers like the heavy families of the town, the Furudes and the Sonozakis, so Mion and Rika, perhaps.
それってどういう...
I swallowed my words. Here in Hinamizawa, the ones who would be considered the most outside would be my family. I was proof enough of that, wasn't I? I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then the next victims, my family. Was he saying it was going to be me?
でも、それとミオンとどう関係があるんだよ?
Oh yeah, and the woman he was with just vanished, apparently, so no one can find her.
園崎さん一家はダム騒動時の抵抗運動の旗頭だったのです。それも過激なね。例えば園崎ミオンさんについても同様です。
Everyone's a suspect. Yes.
抵抗運動時、いくつかの軽犯罪と公務執行妨害で補導歴があります。
I knew Mion had fought. This is the first time I'd heard her family leading the protests, though. Then, well, what did it all mean?
ミオンの一家が一連の事件に関係しているとでも言うのかよ。
そうまでは言いません。もしもそうだったら、一番確率が高い。それだけのことなんです。
Not a very clear explanation. It felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know.
誰が一体どれだけ関わっているのか、全くわかりません。だからこそ、村人に口外してほしくないのです。
Instead of answering, I have a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough.
じゃあ、こう考えましょう。たたりを盲信する村人の皆さんに心配させたくないから内緒。そういうことでどうです？
What do you mean, how about that? How should I know? But the reasoning behind wanting me to not carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with a curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes. And none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just worry needlessly.
みんなが俺に心配させないために内緒にしてくれたように。
I would think that... Okay, I know more about the character, but yeah, I'd say as a character study, Oishi, I think, is probably a better guy than he comes off being. But that's all I'll say. I can say he genuinely wants to know who done it. I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over these mysterious incidents yearly, and the incident this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was, but it couldn't be helped.
わかりました。俺だけの秘密にします。それでいいですよね。
Okinomiya署の大石です。
Okinomiya is like the town, like just outside of Hinamizawa.
なんなら、クラちゃんでもいいですよ。
It's like the civilization just outside of the, or, yeah. rural village. The way he said it was unpleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was the spitting image of a vulgar police officer, though I've never seen one this bulky before in the cop shows I watch. I can certainly say his voice is so weird. The fuck? Oh. The door opened with a click, and in streamed the oppressive heat. It was blistering outside of the car. Was it really this hot of a day? It was an almost cruel heat, as opposed to mechanical coolness inside the car. It was as if the land of Hinamizawa itself suddenly hated me. I felt a little sad, as the thought crossed my mind. I refrained from telling him that it was too late to say something that self-serving. Hope I am doing very well. Thank you, Drunkle Crow. I feel like I remember that name. I definitely recognize that. Were you here in the last stream? I think so, but yeah. I hate to say it, but I am about to wrap up in just a couple of minutes.
見たり聞いたりしたら連絡しますけど、俺は探偵じゃないですからね。変な期待しないでくださいよ。
Do you like taunt servants? I don't think I'm very familiar with them.
今までのように自然に生活してください。その中で見聞きしたことを教えてくだされば結構なんです。
I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving him a quick bow.
またお会いしましょう。さようなら、前原君。
I returned to the school building without looking back. Okay, I think I'm actually going to stop it right here. Thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, definitely subscribe for more OtakuDaiKun content. We got good stuff coming in the next few days. On my Tuesday and Friday uploads will be good, and everything is panning out so that I think I will be streaming this game again on Sunday. Not tomorrow, but next week. The victim having his throat clawed out. I think a moment from JoJo, the guy clawing his skin like a madman. It's very similar to that. It really is. I know, I'm sorry. This actually wound up being longer than I had initially planned, so that's good. More stream for everybody. Yes, enjoy your weekend. And until next time, celebrate your fandom.